everyone.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
What up, everybody? It's good to see you. We're still on blue screen. I guess any moment here. Yeah, in the news yesterday, Hamburger Hernandez, the blimp, apparently stopped the search of dead bodies in MacArthur Parks Lake. What she doesn't want you to find, huh? And that's the same exact park where your mayor told you to take your kids for summer camp, so they can hang out with a bunch of hypes, drug addicts, gang members, and dead people floating around in the lake there. Isn't that nice? Isn't that fucking nice? See how they do that? They protect you and your kids. That's how they do it, ladies and gents. Is my chat room not working? Why don't I see anybody chatting? Is none of them on? I don't even know what's going on. It says they're all on. What's up, Beach? What's up, Skyfire? I see it on YouTube and there, but I don't see anything on the restream. Not one person chatting on the restream. Thank you, restream. Much appreciated, man. President's coming to your place in Iowa. What's he going to Iowa for? What's going on over there that I missed? I missed something, apparently. Something big going down. Hi, Stinks. Alright, there we go. Perfect timing here. Let's get it. See if I can fix my chat room so I can hear you guys. Or see you guys talking. Come on, restream. Fuck. Really? Oh, now we got so you start off and then you come and then now we got commercial. Got it. Okay. Bro, what is going on, man? It's always got to be something. I can't see you guys talking at all. Fuck, man. I mean, I see it in Twitch, but not on my restream. Like, restream's just not working. Hi, Jordan. Fuck, man. Come on, dude. There's always got to be some shit, dude. You can never just turn this motherfucker on and just go to work. Damn it. Oh, my God, dude. This shit again, dude. Oh, my God, dude.
2026. Public comment for this morning's meeting will be taken in this chamber on agenda items and general comments related to City Council jurisdiction. Madam Clerk, if we could begin our proceedings by calling the roll.
Yes, sir. Blumenthal, Harris, Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Hirado, Lee, McCosker, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Jaroslavsky. 14 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, first order of business.
Approval of the minutes of January 23rd, 2026.
Councilmember Hutt moves, Councilmember McCosker seconds. What's next?
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Padilla moves, Councilmember Soto Martinez seconds. What's next?
Mr. President, today's Tuesday. It's time for flag
All right,
salute.
we'll ask everyone in the chambers to rise, face the flag, and follow along with Councilmember Blumenthal of the 3rd District.
All right, if I could ask everyone to put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
One person in Twitch, one in D Live, nothing.
All right, Madam Clerk, let's run through our agenda.
Right now.
Yes, sir. Item number 1 is an item for which public hearing has been held. Items 2 through 19 are items which public hearings have not been held. For item number 9, an updated city attorney report and ordinance has been submitted and is available online under council file 250866. 10 votes are required for the consideration.
All right, without objection, those items are before us.
Mr. President, there is currently a request to refer item 19 to the Housing and Homeless Committee.
All right. Without objection, that'll be the order. All right, Councilmember Rahman.
I wanted to rise and I did want to object to referring this motion to committee today. And I just wanted to share with you colleagues why I think this is important, why it's urgent to do it today, and to explain why this came to us at the very last moment. And I hope that you'll indulge me. Measure ULA is one of the most consequential housing policies Los Angeles voters have ever approved. Nearly 60% of Angelinos said yes to a tax on real estate sales over $5 million that would go towards building affordable housing and to preventing evictions, displacement, and homelessness, creating for the first time a perpetual and, to me, essential resource for the city of Los Angeles. I want to be very clear about what I wanted to send to the June ballot: a one-time exemption on the tax for victims of the Palisades fires, to me an inarguably good thing that this body must do, technical fixes to help get these dollars out the door vetted by the housing department, and an exemption to the tax for the first 15 years after any multifamily or commercial building comes online, which, based on the data that we have about transactions so far, would take away between 9 to 13% of the funds. I believe that we should move forward today with putting these changes on the June ballot, and here's why. I endorsed and supported Measure ULA, and since going into effect, it's raised more than $1 billion and helped stabilize thousands of tenants, while supporting the construction of 200 homes so far, and hopefully many more this year as the bulk of the production money finally goes out the door. Those outcomes matter, and they show us why this funding source is so important to preserve for our city. But there are real threats to ULA, from statewide ballot initiatives that threaten to take away transfer taxes entirely across California, from planned legislative action in Sacramento, and from local ballot initiatives, all of which are likely to make far deeper cuts to ULA's revenues. I strongly believe that acting locally and acting responsibly is how we protect this voter-approved policies. We can head off donors and supporters and promoters of other efforts if we do it the right way, and if we do it locally. But I want to be clear that my efforts today are not just a defensive measure. This is also an effort to address what I believe are unintended consequences of the design of Measure ULA, which was sold to voters as a mansion tax. In reality, it put a transfer tax on all properties over $5 million, including apartments. And we have to be honest about what has happened as a result. Multifamily, mixed-use housing, commercial production has slowed in the city of LA. Lenders and investors are backing away from this city entirely. Multiple research studies and data points have shown us that the structure of this tax has slowed apartment construction in LA during a housing crisis. These studies have compared sales and permits in the city of LA with comparable jurisdictions in LA County and found steeper declines in LA City. The studies estimated that ULA is preventing the construction of at least 2,000 market rate units a year, as well as hundreds of affordable units, more units than ULA can produce. The LA Times recently reported that the San Diego region is building apartments at nearly twice the rate of LA, with new construction up 10% in this economic climate, while LA's has plummeted by 33% over the last 3 years. These studies have also shown that it has cut into property turnover in our most expensive properties, which, thanks to Prop 13, cuts into our local property tax base, which means that if we keep the tax in this way, we actually lose funding for basic services over time, including for public safety and streetlights, everything. And I know there are claims of competing studies, but I have actually read every single one of these studies, and I'm not an economist, but I find the case that ULA is reducing multifamily housing production to be very convincing. And that makes me worried as a policymaker who is legislating for all Angelinos. Our city's own data, and I'm almost done, I'm sorry. Our city's own data shows that permits have fallen significantly since the tax, a 27% drop. More alarmingly, that data shows that drop has been concentrated in buildings with more than 5 units. Why is that alarming? Because larger buildings are where we have placed all of our hopes for meeting our local housing shortage. We did that through the CHIP program. But the structure of ULA now disincentivizes investment in exactly the kind of buildings that we are saying are going to help us meet our housing shortage. We are sabotaging ourselves. A policy that unintentionally stalls housing production undermines the very goal that voters asked us to achieve. The parallel would be if we were trying to address hunger and you did it through a program that increased food shortages. You can't address the housing crisis with a policy that worsens our housing shortage. You just can't. Voters were sold a mansion tax, and ignoring the very real impacts on apartment construction, apartments that people want and need and want to move into, doesn't protect Measure ULA. It weakens it. Fixing unintended consequences is how we keep this policy aligned with what voters expected and what the city needs. And I also finally want to address the process. I know that a lot of people want to send this back to committee because this conversation should have been something that you were all involved in a lot earlier, or that you were blindsided by my motion on Friday. And I am genuinely sorry about surprising trusted partners in this way. But I have had months of conversations with key stakeholders, including housing organizations and nonprofits who are leaders in the ULA coalition, with our labor partners, with our business partners. Many of you are in the audience today. You were part of these conversations, and many of you were actually involved in more conversations than I was. But after many months, we weren't even able to agree on what data was important to monitor, or that people cared about the implications for Angelenos on what the data was showing us about the slowdown in construction. And given the short timeline ahead of us for action, I made the decision to bring this conversation out of the back room and into the public sphere. Because I care. I care deeply about the implications of slowing housing production. And I think Angelenos care. I care that rents in Los Angeles have gone up significantly since 2020, while rents in cities that have built more in that period have dropped. I care that another UCLA study last year found that LA is the most unaffordable rental market in the nation. In the nation. I care that LA had one of the largest drops in the share of children among our overall population, as families have been driven away from this city, not brought into it, driven away by our policies. I care that renters living in older buildings with bad landlords have no choice but to suffer because there is no other housing available. Colleagues, I understand that many of you may feel differently, but this is why I think it is important to take action today and to send these reform proposals to the ballot in June. Thank you.
All right. All right, Madam Clerk, the chair has requested that this item go to committee for consideration. There's an objection to that order. We need to call a vote at this time.
Yes. So the motion to refer this to the Housing and Homeless Committee, is there a second to that motion?
To send it to committee.
To send this to committee. Okay, so then at this time, the motion to send item 19 to the Housing and Homeless Committee is before council for a vote. Send it to Housing and Homeless Committee or not?
All right. Let's
Or
open.
not.
All right, we got people who want to speak on this.
Or not.
All right, clerk and city attorney, I want to just make sure we're in order here, and that we can have a full discussion over this beyond the objection.
Well, then, in this case, then, if the rest of the members would like to discuss this further, this item 19 at this time, then the vote to send this to Housing and Homeless Committee should wait until the council votes on the rest of the items on this agenda.
Before or after public comment?
This would happen after public comment because this motion has not been referred to committee, and it was just introduced recently.
So what we have on our agenda is a Rule 16. A Rule 16 gets placed on the agenda without the committee process, of course. And when the call was made for approving this agenda, I pressed my button. I would have made an objection to the Rule 16.
Hey, did I get it?
That is a
Yes.
motion. That is an objection
Finally.
that's not debatable.
Fuck.
And the vote would on my objection would be, or anyone's objection would be immediate without debate. And to consider the Rule 16 requires 10 votes. To consider the Rule 16 requires 10 votes, not debatable. If there are not 10 votes to consider the Rule 16, the matter is, by rule, referred to committee. By rule, it's referred to committee. And so I want to be really, really clear here. The president of the council at the outset of the meeting said,
Of course,
I
now
no longer
I got
have
it
a
to
Rule
show up, but
16
now
in
it's
front of
only
me.
showing
I'm
YouTube.
going to refer this to committee. The objection was the referral to committee. That is a simple majority objection. But
Yeah, public
if we
comments
don't send
coming
it to
up.
committee, the motion's dead. It's gone. It doesn't exist. It's not considered today without 10 votes. And if it's not sent to
President
committee,
Trump
it's not
signs
sent to committee,
executive
it's
order
dead. It's
aimed at
essentially
taking
dead.
over
So,
wildfire
let's be really clear
rebuilding
what we're talking
process in
about
LA
here. If you
County.
want to hear it
Oh
today, and I don't, but it
Oh
needs the
boy,
public
they're not
debate
gonna
in
like that.
committee, it requires 10 votes.
All their money that they could have stole,
The
they
chair can send it to
ain't gonna
committee
steal
without
it.
objection.
Oh boy.
If there's an objection, 8 votes can approve what he's doing, or 8 votes can disapprove what he's doing. If we disapprove sending it to committee, it's gone. So let's be really clear what we're talking about here. We're no longer talking about whether it's going to be heard today. It will not be heard today because there is no Rule 16 on the floor. The only question we have, does it go to committee or does it go into the ether? I say send it to committee.
I say the same thing. Councilmember Roman?
I'm not sure how to interpret what you said in terms of the rules. If you would, I mean, it sounds like people want to send this to committee, so I'm happy to withdraw my objection to sending it to committee and allow it to be sent to committee if that's the only way to keep this alive today. And I'm happy to do that. Thank you.
Madam Clerk? Madam Clerk, just tell us where we are, and then I'll call on Councilmember Rodriguez.
The objection to sending item 19 to committee has been withdrawn.
She looks angry.
So this item is now sent to the Housing and Homeless Committee.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McCosker, for clarifying procedurally, because I hit my button too to object to call on whether or not we were going to hear this item.
But
I also didn't appreciate the false narrative and monologue that was given on this item, particularly when it was conflicted in acknowledging that, Ms. Rahman, you supported and endorsed the false notion to voters
cat
that
fight.
this was going to be the panacea without study, without any of the
Cat fight.
verified proof. We knew that these were the implications for many of us when we were having these conversations around ULA. And we've been calling it out for well over a year. But it was convenient to ignore it when the money was being doled out to different initiatives that people wanted to support. And then these backroom, learn about the backroom conversations that were happening. The idea that you would all of a sudden jam this in out of genuine concern when we've been calling this out for more than a year. I wish you had the same sense of urgency to schedule my motion that has been sitting in your committee for 280 days on the discussion of homeless spending and the centralization of the work and the removal of LASA. It's been sitting 280 days, a report in your committee that you won't hear. So let's stop playing this false notion of the arsonists showing up as the firefighters. I want to make sure that the public gets the actual conversations that they deserve. There's multiple stakeholders here that are being affected, whether it's the lack of housing construction, whether it's the individuals that are at risk of losing support from the resources that could be garnered from this, or the obstruction of housing creation.
She's angry.
There is a whole host of problems here. But the public deserves to have an open and transparent conversation around this. So I'm not going to sign on to these false efforts. We have a committee process. Let's have these conversations in committee. But let's stop playing these games, guys. How many times do people have to get dragged out of work or whatever they're doing to come participate in this false show? Enough. So I look forward to this going to committee and having a robust conversation about how we can, and I see all the folks in labor there, how we can measure twice and cut once. Because we do have to fix ULA, and we have to do it right and make sure that we do it with all the stakeholders that are going to be impacted by it to be involved. and engaged in the conversation. And I look forward to these things happening with full transparency in the committee process. Thank you.
Thank you. Come again.
All right, specials.
Robin, you just got roasted. Robin, you just got roasted by your own homegirl.
Oscar.
Thank you very much. I would like to call item number
Your own
17
homie
special.
roasted you.
I will have amendments that will be circulated.
Right on. Councilmember Nazarian.
Item number 11 for an amendment that's already been circulated. Thank you.
Councilmember Jurado.
What's going on? Now
Council
nobody's
President,
chatting
I'd like
again.
to call item 4 and 7 special for a separate vote.
My shit.
4 and
Fucked
7.
up today.
7.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank you. For item 7, I'm introducing a substitute resolution to remove 2 of the locations and add 1. It's being introduced now. And then on item 19 that we just heard, can we also send that to Budget and Finance?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's right,
Councilmember
Beach.
Padilla.
You tell them.
Item 17 for questions on an amendment that's already circulating.
All right, and Councilmember Park.
See everybody? I'm still using the bags back and forth.
Any other specials members? Councilmember Rodriguez.
By the way, the machine's
Item 8,
out for
7 to
delivery
note and
today.
file. Sorry, Rams. And item 9 to recommend that we adopt the city attorney's corrected ordinance dated January 26, 2026. And also for comments, we'll hold, that's item 9?
Item 9, okay.
Yeah. And then I have an amendment circulating for 17.
Okay. Other specials members? Going once, going twice? Councilmember Blumenfield.
Item 9 for comments, and may have something for 17. Either refer it back to committee, portion back to committee, or make an amendment on it, depending.
All right. Other specials members? All right, Madam Clerk, given that calendar, what items are before us?
Just to clarify, for item 7, Councilman Rodriguez, is there a second to adopting
What is
the
going
corrected
on with
ordinance?
Second on, we got a second? All right.
Oh.
All right, what's next?
Next, council may now vote on item 1, sir.
All right.
That's it,
Item
Beach.
1 is before us.
I'd
Let's open the roll.
rather be
Close the
off.
roll.
That way I
Tabulate the
can
vote.
do 100
14
drops
ayes.
or more, you know.
All right, what's next?
Get most of the normal
Next,
stuff we use so we're
council
back in
may
working
move
order,
on to
kind of, you know.
public comment, sir.
All right,
Public
City
comment,
Attorney,
finally.
please read the rules for public comment into the record.
Yeah, I just figure that's the best way to go about it because it's probably going to be a slow Tuesday unless something pops off.
Yes,
Like I
Mr.
said,
President.
Makes sense, I think.
To people providing public comment, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your
Has
time
he
is
been
up.
tanning? Did he
When
go
speaking
somewhere?
on the agenda items,
Maybe it's
you
just the
must be
cameras
on
that
topic.
they changed.
Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get 1 brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items that are open for public comment on the agenda are items 2 through 18. So again, the items that are open for public comment on the agenda are items 2 through 18. Item number 19 has been has been referred to committee and so is not open for public comment. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction. A couple more announcements if I could have the interpreters make this first one aloud to the room, please. If you require a Spanish language interpreter, please make sure to pause every few sentences so the interpreters can interpret.
Si requiere un intérprete para español, por favor pausen después de cada frase o 2 frases para darle al intérprete una oportunidad de traducir.
Don't worry, we will pause your time while the interpreters are interpreting, so you will get the same amount of time as everyone else. Thank you.
Y no se preocupen, les pausaremos el tiempo mientras el intérprete está hablando, entonces tendrán la misma cantidad de tiempo que las otras personas. Gracias.
Additionally, if you've made an accommodation request under the ADA with the clerk's office, or if you would like to, in order to use the wireless handheld microphone, please let the sergeants know when it's your turn to speak that you would like to use the wireless handheld microphone. Finally, in order to accommodate as many people as possible, we would ask that you please wait to line up until after you hear the name that you signed up under called aloud. The order in which the names are called is at random. That is to say, it is randomly generated. Thank you.
And before we call names, members, we have a little over 50 people who are on the queue to speak. So we're going to allow 1 hour for public comment today. So we will take public comment until 11:45. Also, we will close the queue so that we won't have any new signups between now and then. So we will take public comment from now until 11:45. Let's go ahead and call names.
I will now begin to call the following names: Laura Raymond, Nico Gardner, Maura O'Neill, Amy Linda Navarez, and Carlos Saveria.
Carlos. You got a snake in there. Carlos. That's it, Hurdy. That's it. Sorry, guys, I'm not talking back and forth with you guys, but my fucking restream chat's just got it to connect for a second.
Good morning. Which
just
items would you like to
YouTube,
speak to?
and then it just
Item
stopped.
17 in general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute
Thank
for
you,
general.
Willie.
Go ahead.
Appreciate you,
Thank
Willie.
you. Good morning, council members. My name is Maura O'Neill. I'm a policy analyst for Better Neighbors LA. We're a coalition focused on regulating short-term rentals to preserve long-term housing in Los Angeles and Southern California. I'd like to urge the council to remove Section 5 from the proposed reports in Item 17. This item threatens to resurrect the vacation rental ordinance, which was voted down in 2023 because of the devastating impact it would have on LA's long-term residents. The vacation rental ordinance would undo the home sharing ordinance's foundations and impede the city's enforcement of current short-term rental laws, a task the council has been working on for years. The enormous increase in short-term rentals under the vacation rental ordinance, roughly 31,000, would effectively reverse the primary residency requirement provision of the HSO and prioritize the profit of corporate short-term rental operators over tenants. Not only do short-term rentals decrease housing supply, but they have also been shown to increase rents. Passing the ordinance will affect not
General
only
public comment.
Thank you. Passing the ordinance will affect not only housing affordability for residents, but also the scale of housing-related social services that the city will need to provide. We urge the council to remove Section 5 from the proposed reports in Item 17 and focus on long-term housing solutions for LA's residents. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Before the next speaker begins, I will be calling the next few names. B. Kiro, Jake Pierce, Adriana A., Mary Estoma, and Victor Morello.
I don't think he's really good at reading names. I'm just going to go out there on a limb.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
Thank you. My name is Amy Linda Nevarez, and I'm here with Sage. I'm here to ask the council to vote against any amendments to ULA. From the beginning, the real estate lobby has been determined to sabotage ULA by identifying loopholes, filing lawsuits, and introducing bad faith legislation to repeal it. They spent millions fighting it at the ballot, failed, and launched a lawsuit that also failed. Why would you all believe anything that they say? Developers don't like paying the tax, and they're using every excuse in the book to get rid of it. Blaming ULA for a slowdown in housing production is ridiculous. What about high interest rates, inflation, insurance, and all other factors that contribute to the real estate market? The amendments that were proposed would reduce who pays into ULA and delay when revenue is collected. This will make it more difficult to solve our affordability housing crisis. It's imperative you stay the course and give a chance to let ULA work. And that means not losing our nerve every time LA's real estate industry invents a new story about how the sky is falling. Thank you.
LA or LA? Ma'am, who tanked the dollar? I guarantee you voted for him. Guaranteed. Guaranteed you did. So don't cry now. You got what you voted for.
Good morning. I'm speaking general public comment on item 17.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Good morning, Council. On behalf of United Teachers Los Angeles, we ask the Council to reject any amendments to ULA. Billionaires and corporate developers are coming hard after this program precisely because it is working.
Stupid, dude.
Because it is showing that you could spend public dollars to build a city that working people can afford. UTLA has been proud to support Measure ULA from the start and stand in solidarity with the thousands of tenants, workers, housing justice organizations, and community groups who have championed this vital funding source for affordable housing. And we have no plans on stopping. We are doubling down on our support for this program. The 38,000 members of UTLA joined thousands of others.
I don't see how that's a joke. How is that even funny?
The high cost of housing is driving our educators out of the profession. It is driving our students into
got a weird
homelessness
sense of
or out
humor,
of the
bro.
city. We ask you to protect this vital program for affordable housing and homelessness prevention. Because are we a city for billionaires and for luxury housing, or are we going to build affordable housing for working people? We ask you to protect ULA. And on item 17, we just simply ask the City Council to remove Section 5 from item 17 and reject the vacation rental ordinance entirely. Thank you so much.
On to the next one. Is that Laser Lady? No, that's not her. Oh, that's the transsexual lady that hates Herman. That's her.
Good morning. Which item?
I'm Miss Loretta Lorraine. I'm doing item
Miss
14
Loretta Lorraine.
and public comment.
Okay, so
Thank
one
you
minute
Larry
for the item and 1
Lorraine.
minute for general.
Hello? Item 14 and public comment. Okay, my issues is I know Hernandez and Miss Heather Hunt and Hugo Martinez. They are with the program. They're doing things. The other cast of people end up. It looks like you pick and choose. I don't believe in picking and choosing. I've always believed in what's people's right. There's a lot of issues in LA right now, that a lot of matters in the transgender community. I'm not coming up in here with a mustache and a beaver. I've been a transgender woman for 60 years, and I'm going to stand what is right. I believe in human rights and what you're supposed to do. We got enough issues out there. Stop pick and choose it. Do what you're supposed to do, because all of you don't want to listen. Y'all have, a lot of people have come in here and disrespect you. I come with respect and honesty, and you can give me my 2 minutes, because I was going for item 14. Is it 14?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. What the police matters. The police, they get their money. They got money from the government over here from Newsom. They make too much money. They want to build jails and give them more guns. They just killed some young lady her name was Linda. What matters? They're killing our people. Y'all giving them more money to buy more guns, and they're the ones, the situation what Donald Trump is doing with ISIS and all that. Y'all got too many issues going on right now that y'all have to make better for the people on the streets. We have a drug population. The world, if the city is getting dirty, clean it up. Get it together, y'all, and make sure that y'all can make the right choices and stop picking and choosing. Make the right choices to help this situation in LA. Thank you very much. Miss Heather and... Okay.
Okay, that's
Next
it. Yeah,
speaker.
sit down, ISIS. It's
Before the
ICE,
next
not
speaker
ISIS.
begins, I will be calling the next few names: Eva Garcia, Jonathan Hale, Alejandro Mendez, and you.
Mendez.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. I'd like to speak to item 14 and general public comment.
Okay. So you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Good morning and good afternoon, council members. My name is Jonathan Bazil, and I live and work in District 10, and I'm here in strong support of the TGI Wellness and Equity Initiative,
Of course.
a $4 million investment organization
Four more
serving
million.
transgender, gender expansive, and intersex Angelinos. For years, community members in the Trans Latino Coalition have urged the city to make real, sustained investments in TGI lives, especially as federal funding for DEI-related services continues to decline.
Good.
TGI people have long faced discrimination, criminalization, and now increasing attacks on access to gender-affirming care and basic freedoms. This makes local action more urgent than ever. Across all levels of government, TGI people experience disproportionate homelessness, violence, and barriers to essential services. Funding TGI-led and TGI-serving organizations is a concrete step towards equity and aligns with the city's commitment to a more inclusive Los Angeles. We uplift city leaders who understand that equity, racial justice, and TGI rights are interconnected.
General public comment?
Sir, you don't need my cis money. Remember that. I'm a cis. You don't need our cis money. So you should ask other transgenders to help other transgenders so you guys could build a good community amongst yourselves. But that probably won't happen because you need our cis money.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
I'm speaking on items 17 and 19.
Okay, so item 19 is been referred to committee, so it's not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general. So you have 1 minute for the item 17 and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, my name's Mary Toma. I'm an organizer with Unite Here Local 11. Los Angeles has already acknowledged the damage caused by short-term rentals and approved new enforcement tools to crack down on illegal activity. Expanding short-term rentals to second homes will create new loopholes, reducing housing supply and undermine existing protections that prioritize homes for long-term residents. Please reject this harmful proposal and remove recommendation number 5. And for general comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Additionally, our union collected thousands of signatures to create Measure ULA, the significant housing source. We cannot pass exemptions that undermine this policy at the 11th hour. Any changes to Measure ULA without the community should not happen. Thank you.
Union thug. That's it.
Good morning. Which items?
Give me your money. Give me your union dues. Oh, she's going to yell. She's already up into the
My
mic.
name is Eva Garcia.
She's angry.
I'm from Community Power
Eva
Collective,
is
and I'd like to
angry.
give a general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Un minuto, adelante.
Como les digo, soy organizadora de inquilinos.
Here it comes.
Y día con día veo cómo sufren, cómo son acosados. Es por eso que estoy aquí, para decirles que protejan a ULA. Y también le quiero pedir a los concejales que cuando nuestra gente venga a hablar aquí, que le pongan atención. Porque estamos cansados de que nos den a todo con el dedo, que quieran endulzarnos con sus palabras falsas de hipocresía para decir que están con nosotros. Estamos cansados de que ganamos una medida
Eva, un momento.
Can you imagine going to her country and doing that?
So,
You'd be
as
put
I
in a
was
barrel
saying, we come here
in 5
each
minutes.
day, and we're suffering, and we are struggling, and we're here to protest what is happening with Measure ULA. And I would also specifically like to talk to the council members because we come here, your community is here, and you're not even paying attention to us. Adelante.
Y es por eso que les digo a todos ustedes que tienen que apoyar a nuestra comunidad.
And that's why I'm telling you, you have to support the community.
Los dueños son invulnerables, tienen dinero y quieren joder a nuestros inquilinos.
Landlords are vulnerable right now, but they want to go ahead and attack the tenants.
Por eso tenemos que tener algo que proteja como ULA.
And that's why we need something like ULA to protect us.
Porque para eso la ganamos, para eso luchamos, para eso salimos a las calles a que votaran por ULA.
And that's why we won ULA, we went out to fight for it, and we went out into the streets to get people to vote for it.
Y les digo nuevamente, dejen de estar faltando respeto a los miembros cuando vienen a hablar aquí. Pónganles atención. Y a esos concejales que dieron sus palabras dulces son hipocresía.
And again, so I'm asking you, stop disrespecting the community. Pay attention to us when we come here to give public comment. And for those people who have whispered sweet nothings to us, we know that it's hypocritical.
Okay, ma'am. If anybody needs to calm down, it's you. And if any of us Americans went to whatever country you're from, because I don't know where you're from, I guarantee you if we spoke like that, in 5 minutes we'd be put in a 55-gallon barrel and killed. But hurry up and give her your money, you fucking bigot.
Would you like to speak to?
Give her the money. Otherwise, you're a bigot.
Buenos días. Vengo de representación.
Can only imagine talking like that in their country. Crazy, bro. Craziness. They got balls, these people. They got us fucked up.
Good morning. I'm here in representation of
got
the
us fucked
Trans-Latino
up.
Coalition and to talk about
I'm yelling at you and giving. You better give it here. Got you fucked up.
y vengo en apoyo de la comunidad.
That's a loud beggar.
De mujeres
There's
transgéneros.
quiet beggars and loud
y
beggers.
anexas.
That was a loud beggar.
Estoy aquí por la iniciativa de bienestar y equidad y atención de TEE.
My name is Adriana Arajona. I'm here to support trans women, and I'm also here
Give
to
me
talk
4
about
million.
the TGI Wellness Initiative.
Una inversión de
I'm here to support, but I won't monetarily support. Just emotionally.
Por y que prestan servicios a personas transgénero.
And I'm here to talk about the $4 million investment in community organizations
I get it,
that
Gusto. I
provide
get it.
services to the trans community.
You know how you can also feed people, Gusto? Go to work. Not you, them, right? They went to work. They wouldn't have to beg. Get a second job. I have 3. I have 3.
Verdad de la vida de personas transgénero.
The Trans Latino Coalition, as well as other communities, have requested that the City of Los Angeles
And I don't beg for
truly
nothing.
invest
I just get
in
another
this
job.
community.
Work a little more hard.
Y lo único que les
That's how
puedo
I do it.
recordar,
Smoke.
recuerden todos que el dinero es del pueblo y para el pueblo, señores.
And the only
Gracias.
thing that I would like to remind you all is to not forget that the money that you receive is for the people and from the people.
That's
Thank you.
our money. Remember that. That's not your money. That's our money. Remember that.
morning.
That's
Which
earmarked
items
for
would you
me
like to
who
speak?
doesn't even speak your language.
General.
That's my money.
Muy buenos días, señores.
You got that?
Mi nombre es Alejandro Méndez y vivo aquí en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Vengo de la organización CPC.
Hi, good morning. My name is Alejandro Mendez. I am from CPC, Community Power Collective, and I am from Los Angeles.
Lo que estoy aquí es para de todas las personas que están como yo de que nos falta por ejemplo como la amputación de un pie.
I gotta help support these
Es la
people,
razón
Ridge.
que estoy
That's
aquí
why.
para todas esas personas que están allá afuera.
I want nicer things in
So
my
I'm
life,
here,
and they steal from me to
like
pay
many
for
other
them and their
people
kids,
who are like me, that
right? That they
have,
can't afford. So I have to
as
work
well as
even
the many
harder to
people who
get
are
what
outside.
I want in order to get what they want.
Ahorita
Because
en
they
este
can't do it
momento no estoy
themselves.
trabajando.
Got it?
Solamente estoy ahorita sobreviviendo lo
Because
de
if
mi
they
hija,
could, they'd be doing
que
it.
está trabajando ella.
But they
Y
don't.
por lo tanto es mi esperanza que ULA
I sure know how to fuck, though, and
no
have
la
kids.
revoquen
They
para
know how to
atrás,
do
porque
that.
si no, ¿con qué
They don't know how to
ayuda
take
nos
care of the
podemos
kid, but they
nosotros
know how to fucking have it.
ayudar? Sí es muy importante para todos nosotros los inquilinos.
That's for sure.
Right now, I'm not working, and I am surviving at this time with my daughter who is working. And my only hope is that you not repeal ULA when there's so many people who are in need, as well as other tenants.
What's up, Matt? How are you?
Speaker, your time has expired.
Happy Tuesday.
Disculpe, se le acabó su tiempo, señor.
Next speaker.
Tenemos que pasar al siguiente comentarista.
Oh, for sure, not sure.
Speaker,
we
we have
get
to
caught
move
in
on to
that
the next
cycle,
speaker.
that rut.
Señor, tenemos que pasar al
Mhm.
siguiente comentarista. Lo siento mucho.
I think that's why a lot of people take on that van life, you know? It's so much more
Good morning. Which
easier
items would you
and
like to
less
speak to?
money.
Item 14, item 17, and
Uh-oh.
general public comment.
We got a mad
2
yeller.
minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Lower the volume.
Item 14, Public Safety Committee report relative to the supplemental police account second quarterly report 2025. When I took a screenshot of this item early this morning, the report was attached to the agenda item, but now somehow it's no longer attached. Item 17, transient occupancy tax for those staying in hotels, motels for 30 days or less. Increased by 4% until 2028 with a permanent 2% tax thereafter. Parking occupancy tax with a current rate of 10% increased by 5%. Cannabis business tax parity, rate increase not applicable, duration permanent.
Smoke.
These are a lot of tax increases for city residents when Mayor Bass is proposing tax exemption, not only for rebuilding properties due to the 2025 fires, but now also any purchases and restoration of buildings using Measure A funds that come directly from your constituents. General public comment.
Okay, so
This past Friday, LAPD knocked on my door to do a wellness check on my roommate.
Uh-oh.
They found her unresponsive in the room next to mine. We shared a wall. When they entered her room, they unholstered their weapons.
Okay.
Everywhere I go, I see the ways in which lack of care and support destroy black and brown, TGI, and queer people. In the streets, through my phone, at my place of employment, and now in my home. So much grief and unspoken pain. I don't want to see another black queer body being taken out of my home. I don't want to call their families or set up interviews with LA Times for the slaying by LAPD of Linda Besada. Also during a wellness check, or even to discuss it here with nothing being done with urgency about it. I hate telling people how my day went and feeling like I might be trauma dumping, but no, it's just another Friday.
Your time has expired. We have to move on.
You're
to the
definitely a
next speaker.
trauma dumper. You are
So, for
definitely
everyone
a trauma
here, if you
dumper.
speaker, we
And
have-
all this pain and anguish and not a tear rolled down that cheek.
have to move on to
Not
the next
one
speaker. So for
real
everyone here,
tear.
We have to give everybody the same
Just
amount
the
of time
pain
to
and
speak.
anguish, the
If
suffering.
for whatever reason you run out of time during your public comment period, or if we run out of time and cannot take your comment today, you can always provide additional public comment at lacouncilcomment.com. Again,
And ma'am, really quickly, anybody who's going to walk into a room, anyone who's smart and has a firearm is going to have that firearm unholstered because they don't know what's on the other side of that door. Could be somebody lying in wait with a gun waiting to kill them. Can't respawn, ma'am.
and that's lacouncilcomment.com.
Okay, that's just how things go.
The URL at the top of
That's
every
how it
council
works
agenda.
with everybody,
You can also
whether
do a quick
whether
Google
the
search.
person's
It's one of
white
the first things
or
that comes
black, it didn't
Good morning.
matter,
Which
or
item would you like to
queer
speak to?
or straight, it didn't matter.
I like to
They'll
speak
do
on
the same thing
to the two
to all of
items,
them.
like my 2 minutes that I'm allocated to speak on. One for public comment.
You have one. You can have the one for general, but you said two items. Which two items?
No, I'm requesting my 2 minutes. One for the support for the ULA and for public comment.
So the ULA item has been referred to committee, so it's not open for public
That's
comment.
it, you can't
but
talk
you can
on
speak to it during general. So you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
You just got jacked.
Good morning, and thank you so much for the opportunity to be here before you. My name is Bambi Salcedo, and I'm the president and CEO of the Trans-Latino Coalition. I'm here on behalf of about 50 people that are still waiting to get in here, and some of my friends and colleagues and family who are here to request and to really ask this council to move forward the TGI We need two people, one to submit the petition and one to be a co-sponsor, and obviously we need all of your votes to make sure that transgender, expansive, and intersex people are able to receive support and services that we deserve. This is to support trans-led organizations that provide services to our community. As we know, right now is the time to stand in solidarity with our community and to really stand against the federal government who is attacking and trying to disappear trans people. So I ask you to please be bold and
Speaker, your time has expired.
Like a magic trick, they're trying to disappear them. Like a straight magic trick.
Next few names: Joseph Cohen May, I, Nikia Cornish, Andrea Romero, and Mike Aspall.
Mike Assball. And what about Smoke and Scan? Shit, yeah, Mike Assball. Mike Assball, get up here. Fuck up out here.
Who's the
Mike,
next speaker?
Mike Assball is.
I believe they're coming up.
I believe it's Mike Assball. He was next up. Nobody cut in front. Is that Mike Assball?
Hi,
Good
item
morning.
17, please.
Item 17?
Yes, please.
It's not a
So you have 1 minute for the item. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Andrea Romero, and I'm a member of Unite Here Local 11. I urge you to oppose the vacation rentals ordinance and remove recommendation 5 from your report on revenue options for the budget. Allowing second homes to be listed as short-term rentals on platforms like Airbnb and Vrbo would allow for increased conversions of housing into hotels and directly contradict the council's recent actions to strengthen enforcement of the home sharing ordinance. The city should be cracking down on illegal short-term rentals, not expanding short-term rentals. This proposal will not solve budget challenges. Allowing vacation rentals will make enforcement of our existing laws more difficult and remove homes from our neighborhoods. That is exactly why the council previously abandoned this proposal and allowed the file to expire. Please focus on real solutions that protect residents and preserve housing. Do not move this proposal forward in any form. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Why does LA hate Airbnb?
We will now
Because
be
they
calling
don't
the next
pay.
few names: Greg Bonnet, Maria Salinas, Becky Demonson, Anna Carian, Andrea Voces, and Chiqui Charles.
Chiqui Charles. Is that Mike Assball?
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I'm Jerry Jones with the Greater LA
Jerry
Coalition
Jones,
on
fucking Dallas
Homelessness.
Cowboys.
Speaking in opposition to any motion that would scale back ULA. We do not have enough
Jerry.
funding already to deal with the housing crisis in front of us.
Go Cowboys.
And so this is not the time to be changing the motion. And if this ballot motion was, or excuse me, this ballot measure was changed, it would need to be in coordination with the community and labor partners who gathered 98,000 signatures and spent the shoe leather and the bare knuckles on doors and the tremendous effort to explain this proposal to the voters when it was passed overwhelmingly. And so if there are changes to be made, they need to be coordinated with those allies who created ULA in the first place. Thank you.
You oppose the Cowboys? Joyce says, go Cowboys. Well, didn't know we were going to get some royalty in the house. Jerry Jones, America's team owner.
Good morning. Which items
boy.
would you like to speak to?
Buenos días, mi nombre es Sofía Mendoza. Voy a hablar comentario
Sofía.
público y sobre el punto número 17.
Good afternoon. My name is Sofia Mendoza, speaking public comment and item number 17.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item 17 and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
2 minutos, adelante.
Sí, estamos aquí porque no queremos que nos quiten fondos de la medida ULA.
We're here because we do not want funds to be removed from Measure ULA.
Nosotros hemos luchado para obtener esa medida, esa ley.
We have fought to get that law.
Y como inquilino, ¿verdad? Nos ha beneficiado mucho, no nada más a mí, a muchas personas.
As a renter, it has benefited not only me, but many other people as well.
Yo he sido un inquilino que he estado siendo acosado por el dueño, demandada 2 veces y me he tenido representación legal.
I am a renter who has been harassed by her landlord 2 times. I have sued twice, and I got adequate legal representation.
Gracias a esta medida también hemos estado orientándonos a través de las clínicas.
And thank you to that measure, we have been able to orient ourselves thanks to the clinics.
Taco Joe's live at a Capitol rally. Not much going on.
Yo les digo, si no tenemos representación legal cuando somos demandados, perdemos nuestros casos y nos quedamos prácticamente en la calle.
And I can say that when we do not have legal representation, we lose our cases and we are basically left out on the street.
General public comment.
Comentario general.
Pedimos que el Consejo Municipal remueve la sección número 5
We ask the council to remove section number 5
del artículo 17 que iniciaría un informe sobre la ordenanza de vivienda turística.
and we ask them that they remove it from item 17 that will initiate a reform for the tourist ordinance.
Y que el Consejo lo rechace en su totalidad.
And for the council to reject it completely.
Y le pido por favor que a los que esté anunciando los nombres, que lo haga, que no se termine la gente que está ahí parada, que lo haga continuamente porque estamos perdiendo tiempo.
And we ask to the person who is announcing the names to not wait until the people are not there anymore standing, to do it continuously as the people are lining up so that we do not lose time.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Telling them how to do their business, too.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Yeah, you could do it better this way.
Buenos días a todos los concejales. Mi nombre es Ana Carrión y represento el Distrito 8 del señor Harris Dawson.
Hello, my name is Anna Carrion. I represent District 8 of Mr. Harris Dawson.
Por el día de hoy vengo representando a SAGE.
I'm here representing Sage today.
Voy a hablar sobre el punto general y el punto del artículo 17.
Here to speak about general public comment and item number 17.
Muchos de ustedes apoyaron YULA a someter la votación y contribuyeron a que los trabajadores tuvieran la oportunidad de acceder viviendas accesibles.
Many of you have supported ULA, which has allowed, contributed to workers being able to access affordable housing.
Ahora es el momento de llevar adelante YULA y dejar que funcione.
Now is the moment to let ULA move forward and let it work.
La YULA no solo es esencial para resolver nuestras crisis de vivienda, sino que es un modelo para la nación sobre cómo financiar viviendas accesibles de forma permanente a gran escala.
And ULA is not only moved forward by the voters. It is also a model for the nation to be able to access affordable housing with adequate funds.
Ahora voy a hablar en el punto general.
All right, everybody smoke.
En cumplimiento pido que el Consejo Municipal quite la sección 5 del artículo 17.
I am asking the council to remove section 5 from item number 17.
La ciudad de hoy en día no tiene la capacidad de hacer cumplir la ley actual sobre los alquileres a corto plazo.
Mr. Yatch,
The
some of them
city does
could be.
not have the ability to enforce the law on renters and short-term rental.
I know, Billy.
Las
I just showed
estadísticas del
you.
gobierno municipal muestran que más del 60% de los alquileres a corto plazo son ilegales.
And statistics show that renting 60% of short-term rentals are actually illegal.
Aprobando a la ordenanza de viviendas turísticas no solo recompensaría a los operadores que rompen la ley,
And this would, approving this ordinance would recompensate the operators who are breaking the law.
debido a esto crearía un alboroto sobre la aplicación debido a la creación de 31,000 permisos nuevos sin
This
preparación
would create problems for more than
o
30,000
capacidad para administrarlos. Gracias.
with the capacity to administrate them.
Who's this guy coming up? This cowboy
Before the
hat
next
shit.
speaker
And he's got
begins, we'll be calling the next
fur
few
coat.
names. Bambi S., Dulce Moreno, Vilmo Valquez, Jennifer Q, and Maya Daniels.
Of course, there had to be an S
Good
at,
morning. Which
at the end
item
of
would you like to
Bambi.
speak to?
Bambi S.
Buenos dias. I'm going to speak on general public comment as well as item number 7. Before I get started, I would just appreciate everyone's attention.
I'm sure you
to
would.
your constituents.
There's
Thank
nobody
you.
here.
So,
Every one of them
you
is
have
gone.
1 minute for the
Except
item
for
number
one.
7 and 1 minute for general.
Or 2 of them
Please
are
begin
there.
with the item. Go ahead.
Other 4 are gone.
My name is Chichi Navarro. I'm part of the Translatina Coalition
Chichi.
as a policy intern.
Chichi, give me the
Los
yayo.
Angeles is in a state of crisis, and our communities are running out of time. Transgender, gender nonconforming, and intersex immigrants, Angelinos, are dying on our streets because we do not have the resources that we need to survive. We're lacking housing, we're lacking safety, we're lacking wellness supports, and lacking the basic infrastructure that every human being deserves. And while our community struggles to meet this most basic needs, this city continues to invest billions in enforcement instead of care. With nearly a $14 billion budget, nearly a quarter goes to LAPD, while TGI-led programs receive nothing. This is not a resource shortage. It is a resource allocation choice and is costing lives. We need this council to introduce the TGI Wellness and Equity Initiative immediately. TGI We is a life-saving proposal built by community experts who understand the crisis firsthand. Every day you delay, more lives are lost. We cannot wait. We need urgent investment today. For item number 7. Item number 7 will deepen a crisis that is already killing people across the city.
Right, BJ?
Expanding 41.18 does not just harm TGI people. It harms Black and brown unhoused residents, disabled Angelinos, seniors, youth, immigrants, and anyone surviving without stable housing. These are the communities already dying at the highest rates, and this policy pushes them even further into danger. Every sweep destroys medication, mobility, aids, hormones, IDs, and the belongings people need to stay alive. Every forced displacement isolates people from outreach workers, from community, and from the few resources they rely on. This is not public safety, it is state-sanctioned harm. And for communities already facing disproportionate policing and violence, it is deadly. If this city is serious about saving lives, expanding 41.18 is the wrong direction. Reject item 17 and invest in real solutions, housing, services, and community-led programs that actually keep the people alive. Listen to your constituents, listen to the community. Your position in this city council is not guaranteed. And keep in mind, we are paying attention. History will remember you.
We're paying attention too. And why is it that your community always needs money, and they need that CIS money? You know, you like to call us cis, so you don't need my cis money. What you need to do as a community is do what a lot of straight folks do. They get together and they help each other. Maybe your community should do that. Chi-Chi.
Good morning. Which
Maybe.
items would you like to speak to?
General public
Get that
comment
sense of
and
community
item
going. It's called civic pride.
Please do. 1
It
minute
has
for
nothing to
item
do with a
17 and
Honda.
1 minute for general. Please begin with the item.
Civic pride. About you
Hi
and your
everyone.
community,
My name's Laura
Chi-Chi.
Raymond, and I co-chaired the Yes on ULA campaign back in 2022, together with my co-chair April Barrett from SEIU 2015. And I also served on the ULA COC for 2 years, where I helped draft the program guidelines for our 11 programs. ULA, as you all know, the implementation of it is going to be very tough, long-term work. It's going to take all of us in this room working together to get this right. And I'm very concerned with the proposal that's been brought forward in the way that I think it will damage the relationships that we need to implement ULA well. It's been a closed-door process, and it also offers no alternative ideas to replace critical revenue for our 11 ULA programs, which will prevent homelessness and provide affordable housing. I also fear that this is going to erode trust in the city at a time when we need the city to be seen as a place residents can trust with our tax dollars.
Your 1 minute for general public comment has expired. I believe you were speaking to ULA. So you have 1 minute for item 17 if you'd like. Go ahead.
Yes. And
Fifu, will you say something really quickly?
The last
Just
thing
type
I just want to
anything.
know is we're not going to get another chance like ULA. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually address our homeless and housing crisis. It's like we were telling voters in the campaign, it's really a historic opportunity, and we all need to work together to make it a success. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope we can move forward from here.
What's up, Swish? How are you? She's on the payroll.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Items, general public comment, and 17.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 17 and 1 minute for general. I'm going to ask the same thing we've been asking during the entire meeting. Please start with item 17, and then you can go to the general public comment. Go ahead.
Okay. As a real estate transfer tax, I'm speaking on item 17, as well as a general public comment. My name is Alfonso Directo with the ACT LA Coalition, based on 50 organizations advancing housing and transit in LA. $387 million to build hundreds of units of affordable housing will be awarded in the coming weeks. And due to ULA, this will happen once, if not twice, every year. ULA is working, and things are just getting started. ULA is providing the solution that the city needs, not the problem that needs fixing. Apartments built by and owned by nonprofit affordable housing developers and owners are already exempt from ULA on purpose. Expanding that exemption to include every apartment owner and builder exacerbates the homelessness and housing crisis we have. ULA went into effect with a host of complex national economic conditions, such as high interest rates and tariffs. To reduce the conditions down to ULA is counterproductive and unjust. ULA has been ACTLA has been part of ULA since the beginning, and our polling found then, just as it's probably done even worse, is that the mistrust in government is deeper. And in that condition, community voices and tenants are the trusted messengers on housing, not city council. So a city-backed ballot measure to amend ULA is counterproductive and unnecessary and ineffective. I urge you to reject this ballot measure and fully implement ULA as voters overwhelmingly approved. Thank you.
Before the next speaker commences, I will be calling the next few names. Joey Martinez, Yvonne Wheeler, Miguel Montero, Cedric Farmer, Nella M, and Josefina G.
And Martinez.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comment, please.
Thank you, Ms. Katz.
1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Nick Casey, and I'm a trans, queer, non-binary voting resident of District 10, a member of the Angels of Change Leadership Academy, and I'm here speaking in support of the TGI Wellness and Equity Initiative as a board member on behalf of LA Pride, Christopher Street West. LA Pride's work has always been about visibility paired with responsibility, and that responsibility includes standing in solidarity with initiatives that materially improve the lives of the TGI community. The TGI We initiative is a community-built investment in care over criminalization and investment over erasure. LA Pride calls on the council to please place the TGI initiative on an upcoming agenda and fully fund it, affirming that Los Angeles doesn't just celebrate inclusion, we invest in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. I mean, Nick. Stop it. I am fucking Goodry. And if you don't tell me I'm Goodry, you are racist.
Item 17 and general comments.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning. On behalf of the 800,000 union members across Los Angeles County, I rise today in opposition of any amendments to ULA. Let us remember why we're here. ULA was not written in the back room. It was written out of lived experiences by housing advocates, policy experts, and working people who see the human cost of this crisis every single day. And then it was overwhelmingly approved by the voters of this city. Construction workers voted for it. Home care workers voted for it. Teachers voted for it. Nurses, janitors, grocery workers, and the very people who keep Los Angeles working voted for it. ULA was built on one simple but powerful idea. We cannot arrest our way out of homelessness. We cannot ignore it. We cannot turn a blind eye to it. But we must prevent people from falling into homelessness, and we must build housing that working people can actually afford. And that's what ULA does. It keeps families housed.
Speaker, you've exhausted your 1 minute for general, but you have your 1 minute for item 17.
That little thing Joe's doing is done.
Go ahead.
It's like 40 people maybe in that room.
At risk
Not one protester, all media.
Affordable housing so that people who serve the city can also
all
live
media.
in
Well,
it.
a couple protesters.
Let's be honest about the pressure you're under today.
I'll keep an
ULA
eye on it.
has been under relentless attack from the billionaire
person
class.
shot.
The same
Hold on.
interests that have filed lawsuit after lawsuit to
Hold on.
avoid paying their fair share. We can in ULA now
Person
send
shot
a message that
an
when
incident
powerful
involving
developers
U.S.
push
Border
hard enough,
Patrol in Arizona.
mandates can be carved out.
37-year-old man
And
shot
here's
and
the
killed
truth.
Saturday morning in
ULA is
Minneapolis.
So can we hold
Hold
our
on.
time? Speaker, you've exhausted your 1 minute for general public comment where you could speak to ULA.
Live up there.
Right now you're on
Person
item
in-
17.
Person shot in incident involving U.S.
I
Border
vote
Patrol
and
in
urge
Arizona.
everyone
Yeah.
to protect ULA, stand with voters, stand with working families, and let's build Los Angeles where the people who build it, this city can afford to live in it. Thank you.
That'll definitely raise the
Good morning. Which
temperature.
items would you like to speak to?
17, 19, and general public comment.
Okay, so item 19 is not open for public comment as it's been referred to committee, but you have 1 minute for item 17 and 1 minute for general. I'm going to ask that you please stick to item 17 first before moving on.
I just got it right now, B.
Go ahead.
Just this very second. It just popped
Good
on my
morning,
phone. Channel
Ellen
7.
Foster with CCA here to
On the ABC.
speak to the proposed TOT and parking increases. We urge you to take a balanced approach that looks at the city's fiscal needs, supports tourism, and preserves our economic competitiveness. LA runs.
You can still
on
hear it,
economic
right?
engines,
The
and we're
LA City
actively
Council, when I put it
weakening
on
them
here.
by moving forward with tax increases on the table today. Downtown is the clearest example. 30% of our TOT parking and business tax revenue have come from this section of the city. When you tax this engine further, you don't just slow downtown, you reduce your own ability to pay for services everywhere else across the city. Visitors can go to Glendale and Burbank, where TOT is nearly half of what is being proposed here. I know that there are proposals on the table to decrease the overall amount, as well as other solutions. That is in the right direction, because streets are cleaner, safer, and better in these other cities.
And we could try to do the dual cam, but I'm scared.
Common sense dictates as well that we need to look at what is already collected before we consider any rate increases. And so thinking about the parking tax, there are operators who are already complying with the current tax increase, while others are not fully giving what they owe. So thank you for your balance in the discussion that's to come, considering all sides where not everyone gets what they want, but we're balancing the priorities of the city, the economic engines, and your own ability to balance the budget. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I will be calling the next few names.
Give me a second.
Angelina J, JC Lacey, Deshane Cantley, Alika B, and Jerry J.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Whoa, hold on.
Comment?
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Miguel Montero, and I'm a part of SAGE Strategic Actions for a Just Economy, and I want to talk about ULA. So ULA has been in effect for almost 3 years.
It's so weird how it's
time,
working
more than
today.
$1 billion have been collected by the city. These $1 billion have prevented more than 10,000 people from falling into homelessness, funded nearly 800 affordable homes, and accelerated 10,000 union jobs. If we put into effect these amendments that Nithya Raman has proposed, those in favor will create an uptick in homelessness.
So now we're good. We can see both.
We will move backwards in building an equitable housing landscape, and you will feed profit-driven real estate investors at the cost of putting thousands of Angelinos in a vulnerable stance or on the street. Do not move forward with these ULA amendments and consider the local impacts this can have on the broader community that you all represent. Thank you.
No, this is right now, Joyce. This is happening right now. It's at the Capitol, I believe, a rally at the Capitol for the 2 people that were shot. And then someone who was just shot in Arizona by ICE. I don't have anything more other than you can see on an ABC 7.
Good morning, board. This is a moment for common sense. We can either risk more layoffs, cut city services, or find ways to fund them. Allowing responsible short-term rentals brings in tourism dollars and tax revenue without raising taxes on residents. This is what smart governance looks like. Creative solutions to real problems. Let's pass a balanced, forward-thinking ordinance. Thanks a lot.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, I don't see it on any of the other news stations.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
It's the only one
For a general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
All right. Well, good afternoon. My name is Joe Von Wolf.
So you see it.
I'm a trans veteran, organizer,
Is the person
artist,
killed,
and
Beach?
community member. I'm representing Trans Latino Coalition as an angel of change, as well as the executive director of Invisible Men. I'm here to bring light and speak in support for the TGI Wellness and Equity Initiative. This initiative would help fund trans, two-spirit, non-binary, intersex, and gender-diverse-led and serving community-based organizations doing the hard work every single day to keep our community supported and uplifted. We are their lifeline, and we demand your support. Okay, these organizations provide critical services for our overlooked communities like housing, access to healthy food, healthcare, employment, among other vital resources. It's time for the city to LA to make good on its promises to be for everyone. Okay, because if you truly say you're for everyone that resides here in LA, but you and all of us know that we have been marginalized, pushed to the sidelines, and we continue to be an afterthought in your budgets and your agendas.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker.
Oh, I gotta log in, Beach. don't have the login. What is it that you're sending me? Because I can't.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Hold on.
Buenos días, necesito traducción.
Good morning, I need translations. ¿En qué puntos quisiera dar su comentario?
Ok. Buenos días a todos, especialmente a la señora Nithya Raman. Me gustaría que me estuviera escuchando, por favor.
Good morning to everyone, particularly Ms. Nithya Raman. I would really like for you to pay attention to my comment, please.
Estoy triste con ella por su manera de comportarse. A veces pensamos que está con el pueblo y a veces vemos que no.
I'm really saddened
because it's in Arizona, Devin. He's in Minnesota.
Sometimes you act like you're for the people,
1,500 miles
away.
You don't. Con todo respeto, me dirijo a ella porque no me gustó lo que acabo de oír.
And respectfully, I'm speaking to you because I was really disheartened by what I heard.
Todos trabajamos con ULA para tener vivienda económica para el pueblo.
Pima County Sheriff Department put out an incident report.
Work for ULA so that we could have affordable homes for the people.
Como dijo una señora, el dinero es para el pueblo, del pueblo y para el pueblo.
Like another commenter had said, she said, the money is for the people and from the people.
Entonces yo quiero todo el dinero para la comunidad y vivienda económica.
So I want all of our money for the community and for affordable housing.
Okay.
Muchas gracias.
People trying to rush in, maybe, who knows?
Before the next speaker commences, I will be calling the next few names. Maria Sanchez, Azine K, Carla De Paz, and Alejandra B.
Man, we're not going to have one regular. Is that what we're telling me right now?
General public comment and item number 17.
Where's Mr. Herman,
so 1 minute
man?
for item 17 and 1 minute for
Paging
general.
Mr. Herman.
Please begin with the item. Go ahead.
My name is Alika Valdez. I am
he's fierce.
A member of Farm Sage. These amendments will weaken ULA's revenue stream. Los Angeles cannot solve its affordable housing crisis without building more affordable housing. ULA gives Los Angeles a huge, dedicated, permanent revenue stream to build in just 2.5 years. It has raised more than $1 billion just for housing. If we amend ULA, Los Angeles will have less money to build, and it will be harder to solve our housing crisis. These amendments are undemocratic. Measure ULA was passed by 58% of voters in 2022. Tampering with ULA undermines the role of the majority.
Thank you, Pluto.
These amendments are being rushed through without input from stakeholders. Any amendments or changes to ULA should come from a thoughtful, transparent process that includes renters, tenant advocates, community organizations. I am going to speak item 17. So, the vacation rental ordinance
crazy. Look at all the live view
LA
backpacks.
Residents and increase homelessness.
There's 3 of them right there in that one
would
shot.
Create roughly 3,100 new STR permits. LA residents currently pay $810 a year extra in rent because
look
of
at
the
that. All 3 of them.
9,000 STRs we currently have.
There's
Imagine 3,100
That's
new ones.
10 grand right there. And 3 backpacks.
5,000 people are currently
Easy,
made
10 grand.
homeless because
Look at
of
the cameras.
STRs. We would expect that number to grow dramatically if the VRO is passed. We ask that the City Council remove Section 5, initiating a report back on the vacation rentals ordinance from item number 17, and reject the vacational rental ordinance entirely. I just hope that history will not will repeat because ULA will never be the same. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. I'd like to be speaking general.
There's no white people here.
Which,
if they are, they're busy
which
knee
items
bending.
would you like to speak to?
General comment.
They're on their knees with their knee pads on.
Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. Greetings, council members. My name is Deshanae Cantley, a tenant, a community member, and an advocate for the work of ULA on the ballot, whom and which has made great impacts for Angelenos to get housed, stay housed, and construction jobs so far. There's still work to do, and we need time to complete the reality with ULA and the intention of care and with communities in mind. The people have already spoken, so let us continue to do the work with no further delays. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
this
morning.
is
Which
just a
items
rally
would you
at the
like to speak
Capitol
to?
building.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming in. And the item I'm going to speak on first is number 14, and then I have a comment for just general public.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for
All
item
right.
14 and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Very good. Thank you this morning for coming in and putting a smile on your faces. I think you all deserve a round of applause for that, as many people do not tell you. So now let's get into number 14. Something about with the police and building the financial budget, etc. I have nothing to say about that because I support our police 100%. Thank you for being out on the street. Thank you for doing what you do. The only thing that I'm going to say to you is this. There are people dying in the streets because police do not know how to basically handle transgender individuals. We need sensitivity training, and we need it now. If we don't get it, there's going to be more out on the street. Now, next, general public comment. So I am here because I want to tell you, please support the TGI funding. Okay, not only will it get people off the streets, but it helps our youth. Our youth are out there prostituting, they're doing drugs. They have no one that they can turn to. You take this money away and you will put them in their graves. You take this money away and you will put everyone else who does not have a home or has something that they need to overcome in their graves. I am not here to tell you anything with sugar. I am here to tell you that exactly it is what it is. Every day that you wake up, you remember that this could be one of your family members. Let's support everyone. We make the money and you guys get it. Let's put it to use. Thank you very much. And this is from a former Miss Universe trans and also someone that has been in this community and is a taxpayer. Thank you.
Miss Universe trans. Is that really a
We will
thing?
now be calling the next few names. Trinidad Alvarez, Jessica P., Gloria Martinez, Maria B., and Loretta Lorraine.
Gloria Martinez.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Buenos días. Estoy aquí para hacer comentario público. Good morning. I'm here to give general
Miss
public
Trans
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Mi
America.
nombre es Alejandra Beltrán. Soy miembro de Trust South LA y de Grupo de Liderazgo de la Vivienda Social Act LA. El día de hoy estamos aquí para pedirles que voten no a la consideración de la medida electoral respaldada por el Consejo para enmendar a la medida ULA. Un momento. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Alejandra Beltrán. I am from Trust South LA, and I am part of a leadership group called ACT LA. And I'm here to ask you to vote no to modifying Measure ULA. La vivienda social permanente trae a mi comunidad una salud mental, económica y familiar. En consecuencia, tendremos una comunidad fortalecida con un modelo de vida justo y equitativo para todos. Es por eso que se ha escrito la carta de apoyo a la medida ULA. So, as a person who has lived in permanent social housing, I can personally attest to the improved mental health along with many other benefits that have resulted from having a stable place to live. La cual entregaremos a usted, señor presidente, para su análisis y reflexión de los resultados positivos de la implementación de la medida ULA. And so Por favor, for the president to please look carefully and to be very thoughtful when talking about any sort of modifications and amendments that need to be done to Measure ULA. Thank you very much. Por favor, recuerden, la ciudad de Los Ángeles
Speaker, your time has expired.
Just muted her.
Next speaker.
Sorry, ma'am. We're done with you. You're finished.
No.
Señora, se le acabó su tiempo. Lo siento mucho.
You're finished, ma'am. No more anger.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. General public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Azim Khan Malik, and I'm the Executive Director of Abundant Housing LA. I'd like to take a moment to commend Councilmember Rahman for doing a difficult thing, pushing forward an important but controversial conversation. Abundant Housing LA was and still is proud to have endorsed Measure ULA. But we also recognize that there's clearly a need
Tim Walls,
for
you can
narrow,
see it on the wall right
targeted
there.
reform to reduce costs.
Right,
to
he's at his
multifamily
office.
housing development.
He's at the
Two
governor's
things
office.
can be true at the same time. ULA raises critical funds for affordable housing and tenant programs.
Hi, Christy.
And its application to multifamily housing is suppressing the production of much-needed homes. I sincerely hope that with the additional time afforded by referral of this ULA motion to committee, all stakeholders can constructively work together to find a solution
I'll make at least
that facilitates
200,000,
housing production
69.
and
At
potentially
least
raises
200,000.
additional revenue to keep these critical funds whole. Thank you very much.
So times that by 15, and they probably, I'd say, make 225, 250 a year.
Good morning.
Each one
Which
of them
items would you
times
like to speak
15.
to?
General comment?
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
My name is Jessica, and I'm with Liberty Hill Foundation. I ask that you review the letters Liberty Hill, UHLA, and Right to Counsel Coalition have submitted to the council file, and we ask to continue the following conversation with Councilmember Rahman in good faith. Once again, flawed and premature data is being used to justify the gutting of Measure ULA. Do you not see all the tenants and community-based organizations here who fought hard for ULA to pass?
Sure they
This
see.
measure was designed to tax the rich and to fund community-driven solutions to prevent homelessness, and it's working. Federal cuts are happening, and instead of protecting the largest source of local revenue to prevent homelessness, you are actively working towards cutting the revenue. For whose benefit? Use that energy to focus on implementing ULA, not watering it down. Use that energy to partner with us to continue to center the needs of the most at-risk Angelenos. This ballot amendment effort is not about protecting ULA from repeal, but about giving in to real estate pressure through carve-outs, exemptions, and delays. So side with the people, not the billionaires. Thank you.
Crazy K, I got an easy answer for you. If people give you free shit all day, why would you go to work?
Good morning.
I'm just going to come
Which
back and
items
ask
would
for
you like
more
to
free
speak to?
shit.
General public comment.
Okay, so
and
you have
I
1 minute.
support
Simple
the
and easy.
ULA. My name is Alejandra. I am a member of the Fast Food Workers Union. I work on Taco Bell in District 8. I work at Taco Bell and filed a closure complaint after I was being chased by a man
to go down to
that
Taco
was
Bell.
doing sexual comments to my coworkers. Violence like this occurs constantly.
Thanks,
Since
Base.
we were never trained on how to protect ourselves, so
Yeah.
in the matter, I grabbed a pizza cutter to defend myself. We should have had a working panic button or a prevention plan, but instead, when I spoke up about what happened, the management decided to move me and cut my hours. Well, we shouldn't have been silenced. I'm not gonna stay silenced. Fast food workers need to know their rights and training so we can enforce the law. And please take the immediate action to pass the fast food fair workers ordinance without any future delays. Thank you.
I'm about to go down to Taco Bell and give me a blast.
All right, that concludes public comment for today's
Man,
meeting.
no
And Madam
Herman,
Clerk,
no
what
not
items are
one
before us?
person, not one regular, no 3-inch tramp,
Mr.
no
President,
audit LA,
council may
nobody,
now
no
vote on
Stacy.
items 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10,
Damn.
12 through 16.
Hopefully tomorrow will be
as well
better.
as 18, sir.
All right, let's open the roll on those items. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right, what's next?
Next would be item 4, and that was called special by Councilmember Gerardo for a separate vote.
All right, let's open the roll
Tacos, Irish.
on item number 4, called special by Councilmember Jurado for a separate vote. Let's close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 3 no.
All right,
Not
what's
one.
next?
No shout outs today,
Next
nothing.
would be item 7. That was called special for 2 things. There is a substitute resolution, Yaroslavsky McCosker, and also Councilmember Gerardo called it special for a separate vote. For the first, council should vote on whether to substitute or not for item 7, sir.
All right, let's open the roll on substitution.
All right, so
Close
let's
the
do
roll.
this.
Tabulate the vote.
Because we don't need to hear them
14
talk about all their bullshit. We don't give a fuck about their agenda. Everybody's leaving anyways, so might as well go to Joe and...
All power to the people! All power to the people! All power to the people! Minnesota strong, not Minnesota nice. I love y'all.
Papa, I don't know. I think he's busy working. I mean, you got to remember, he's an immigration attorney, and one would assume that this has got to be the busiest time ever in his career, wouldn't you think? With all the deportations and everything else going on, his phone must be ringing off the hook, right? So that's all I can think of. He's busy working, he's going to court, and hopefully he's also working on something against the LA City Council. That's all we can hope. It's coming today, White Sox fan. I'm waiting for it right now. I know it's actually less than like 20 minutes from me right now on the truck. Last it said it was on the truck at 4 a.m. today. It says it's out for delivery. So, I think probably between now and 2 o'clock-ish, hopefully. Quicker the better, so I can get it out and make sure it's working and... You know what I mean? Start putting drops in right away. And like I said, if nothing goes off here for Joe or anybody else, we can... Damn, what's crazy? Look at all the money spent on that room. You know what I mean? You wonder where your taxpayer money's going? Could have easily just put up some regular shit, but no. That chandelier alone above his head's probably fucking $100,000. Crystal chandeliers. Oh, yeah. You wonder where your money goes? That's the opulence. Right? So they can look good and regal and royal, even though none of them are royalty. So there you have it. The bukkake of liberal tears. Yes. This is a cuck fest. Notice how they hate you, they call you sis, but they need your $4 million funding. And again, like I was telling Kay, think about this. So you have a bunch of people come in, ask you for $4 million. Let's just say we're nice. We're empathetic. We're sympathetic to their cause, and we give them $4 million. If you don't think they'll be back in a year or so, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line saying, hey, thank you. They won't even say thank you for the $4 million. They're just going to say, hey, what you guys gave before isn't enough. We're still out on the streets. We're still getting kicked out. We need more money. And that's why you don't just keep throwing people money. You don't throw them fish. You give them a fishing rod and you teach them how to fish. Okay, just like this lady that, again, she was speaking English. I felt bad for her. But you can tell that she's not very bright. And that's a sad thing. So she's going to work at Taco Bell probably for the rest of her life. And that's a job, not a career. So it would be more beneficial to help get somebody like her out of her job, maybe give her Section 8, but only on one condition, that she goes to a trade school and learns a trade of some sort, whatever she wants to do, one of her picking. That way she likes what she's doing. Now you've got her a career. And after a few years, you get her off the system. So now you can do that to the same person just like her further on down the line, and more of a stepping stone versus a crutch. Because I think that's what welfare was made for. But the problem is there's zero incentive when you're on it to get off of it. Because if you even try to say, hey, you know what? Thank you for giving me all this shit. I'm going to go work at Subway for 3 hours a day. Ooh. 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day, they're going to be like, well, if you could do that, then we're going to either take some of your benefit or all of your benefits. We'll take all of it. So, yeah, that's kind of where you're at. So you're trapped. So it's like, fuck, do I not work and just sit home and live on their free ride? Or do I try to work and better myself and get off the free ride? Most people are going to say, let's just take the free ride. And that's really what's happening. That is what's happening. So that wasn't it. It was just a car going by. But that's really what it is. Always the furries. I mean, got to remember, there's a lot of mental illness here. Normal human beings don't get into masks and wear funny shirts and walk around in public dancing like this. They don't do that. That's mental illness. On full display right there. That's what mentally ill folks do. Okay? That's why he's got knee pads on. Weirdo. Okay, let's just call it what it is. Folks are weirdos. Go ahead and do what you want. If that's your hobby, hey, be you, do you. Just saying, no normal high, normal functioning, decent IQ folks don't do those things. They just don't. Yeah, he's at the Capitol building, Mark. That's where he's at. Yesterday, there was like a sit-in. They tried to have a sit-in. There was literally, I think, 5 people around the little Minnesota Star. And they put like a rope around it so nobody would walk on the Minnesota Star. So I'm guessing they showed up again here today, in a larger number. And most of this, as you can see, do you see many protesters here? No. I mean, there's a few with signs. Most are news here. Most are media, right? It's 90% media, 10% protester. Here's another one. She ain't got nothing to do. She's annoyed everybody in her family. Nobody wants to be with her, so what else does she have to do? Make a sign, come on out, and annoy people. Here we are. And this young one will be that one in the blue in another 10 or 20 years. Okay? You're seeing the before and after. That's how that works. I just feel bad for her cats because they got to deal with her. Taco Bell Joe. Joe don't like no Taco Bell. He likes real tacos. He likes the real stuffs. Not no fake tacos. But for fake tacos and fake shit, I gotta tell you, Taco Bell's been around for a long fucking time. And the one near my house over here, there's almost always 1 or 2 people in the drive-thru. Always. And a car or 2 in the parking lot. Like it or not, shitty as it might be, doesn't matter. People are always willing to have tacos. And funny enough as it is, there's a taco shop across the street. So you can get real tacos across the street, or you can get Taco Bell tacos across the other street. You make the choice. And people still make that choice to go to Taco Bell sometimes. Believe that. I don't know how long Joe's staying this time. I don't know. But hopefully it pops off. I mean, I don't know now. Of course, he comes back, and now it's... and they're doing their best to force ICE out of the state. So, and of course, with Greg Bavino, I don't know. Was he fired? What did they do with that guy? Did he get fired? Did they just remove him from his position and lower his position? Like they did to the fire chief out here where they didn't fire her. I mean, they fired her, but then they just demoted her to another position. So I'm wondering if that's what happened with that dude, because I didn't read into it. Your stomach is too sensitive for all that greasy crap. You would choose Taco Bell over McDonald's any day for the fast food wars? It's definitely cheaper. McDonald's is not cheap anymore. I mean, fuck, just the number one Big Mac meal's like $11 here. I mean, if you want the large fry and Coke, which most people get, right? Most people aren't getting the small drink and a small fry. So, yeah, $11.30 or some shit. That's why I say, bro, for like 68 or something, like 70 cents less or something, I can have a fucking double-double. Much rather have a double-double than have a fucking Big Mac. much better burger, and it's actually warm, and it shows this thick on the fucking on the menu, and then when I get it, it's actually that thick. It's not this thin. The Big Mac isn't so big anymore. It's the small Mac. He got reassigned. Thank you, Oren. Have to get the large always. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I think most do. I mean, isn't that why they stopped doing the whole supersize thing? They got in trouble for getting, oh man, large is enough, man. You don't need to supersize the large. And I'm telling you, man, when you go to Europe, you start to see why most Europeans are thinner. Not besides the fact that a lot of them bike and walk close to places, you know, it's the portion sizes. Because when they come here and they order like a steak and mashed potatoes, and they see how much mashed potato you put on the side, those folks are like, holy fuck, the fuck is that? They're expecting like a small like apricot or something size pile of mashed potatoes. Instead, we're giving them a softball. So that's really the difference, the portion size. You know, because when you go eat there, you'll see, like, damn, where's the rest of it? Your hungry American ass go eat 2 meals that day. Oh, I'm telling you, Bleach, I spent plenty of time there. I spent, 48 days there. I didn't spend 2 days. I spent 48 days there. I think I got a good taste. Is there fat ones there like me? Sure, absolutely. But depending on where you are, especially like in the Netherlands, a lot of people are thin. Not a whole lot of fat people in the Netherlands. Most don't look like me. They don't. The bread is way healthy. Oh, for sure. The food across the board, they don't use those artificial dyes and red number 2 and all these preservatives. They're not using that shit. And like you said, the bread's better across the board. It's just better food. Well, I bet, Pound, but that's another reason why their people are mostly healthy. That, and a lot of them bike or they're walking. So, yeah.
And then start until 1.
Dutch people are aerodynamic. They are tall and thin.
So y'all stay safely blessed, guys.
Oh, he's done?
We'll see you here at 5:30 for a protest, maybe march downtown Minneapolis.
Okay.
But I'm also getting information there might be another hotel protest tonight. So looking into that. Stay tuned for coverage. Make sure your notifications are on so you guys will miss nothing out.
All right, shout out to Joe. So there's the oh shoot, that was fast. Yeah, so he is done for now. So I'm guessing we'll be back a little later. Hold on, is that Audit LA? She is live. What the fuck? How come she was? Man, so Audit LA was there the whole fucking time. You know what? I bet you that they couldn't get in. I bet you that there was so many fucking people. Oh, God damn it. There were so many people that they couldn't get in, I bet. I'm guessing that's what it was. Because that's her right there. Are they still going on, these fools? Dude, they're still talking. They're still going.
Amazingly, they are also exempt from paying business taxes. So they operate illegally. We have a very slow process by which we shut them down, and then they pop up someplace else. But in the meantime, they're not paying any taxes to operate. Compare and contrast that with every other illegal business that operates in the city of Los Angeles, and you'll be surprised to know that there are lots of illegal businesses that operate in the city of Los Angeles. And I'll give you one example. If you're a nail salon and your license to practice is expired with the state of California, you know, that certificate when you walk in is expired, you're technically not a legal business, but you are still operating it as a business, and we still collect taxes from you. We do this all the time, all over the place.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we chose not to tax illegal, unlicensed cannabis shops.
Ooh.
So in the universe of unlicensed businesses, cannabis shops are the only ones that we don't tax right now.
Pete?
So the proposal is to close that loophole and start taxing them. And I think this is beneficial.
So they
for a
weren't
couple
even
of
taxing
reasons. One,
the rogue
assuming
shops.
we do collect something, which might be hard because they're illegal and may not pay taxes, we can use some of that money and revenue that's generated to start to shut them down. So over time, this pot of money is going to decline if we're doing our jobs. There will be fewer and fewer illegal pot shops, which I think we can all agree is a good thing. The other thing that it will do is will give us an additional cause of action to go after these illegal shops, because now they're not paying their taxes, right? And so it gives us extra leverage vis-a-vis these illegal operators. So this seemed, I don't want to say like a no-brainer, but it seemed like a thing that had a lot of good policy outcomes for us. I understand that there's some concern that it sends the wrong message, that perhaps we can't shut them down ourselves, and so we can't shut them down, so let's just tax them. But I think if we have a plan in place where we show a commitment to actually use some of this money that we generate to actually enforce and go after and shut them down, I think it will be a win for our general fund, and it'll also be a win for those who are operating in good faith with permits and operating legally. So that's why, colleagues, we recommend that we close this loophole, and it requires to be put on the ballot for June. It will generate some amount of money. Mr. Szabo estimated that it could generate in the first year or two up to $70 million. Of course, collection will be difficult, and like I said, over time, that amount will decrease over time. Even if we bring in half of that or a quarter of that, I think the message that it sends, that if you're going to operate illegally, you don't get away with also not paying taxes, is a good one. And so I will stop there on that if we want to have a conversation about this one, and then we can, if that works for you.
Members, there are a lot of people that are on the queue. I do want us to hear from the CAO.
Wait, so so this is a separate
Here's
meeting.
what I would suggest. I think we should get an explanation on all of these things and just discuss, as opposed to trying to pick who wants to talk about cannabis, who wants to talk about parking, or
I want to talk about weed.
So, Madam Budget Chair, if you want
Talk about the weed. I know Audit's going to talk about it. I mean, she don't smoke weed, I don't think. She's going to mention Smoking Scan, I bet.
That's great.
Smoking
Also,
Scan loves the
just
weed.
notified that Matt Crawford from the Office of Finance is also here, and they've done a bunch of analysis on a lot of this and helped us come up with some rough estimates of what they thought each of these would generate. So if there are questions for
Listen
Matt.
to regulations to get your store or farm legal up.
Next, we're gonna move on to,
yeah,
if
no,
it's
for
okay,
sure,
the
Evil.
parking occupancy
It's killed a
tax.
lot of towns up there.
It's my recommendation,
I agree.
colleagues, that we note and file this. I think there's, personally, I have a lot of concern about affordability for Angelenos, and this is something that Angelenos will pay. And just my sense is that now might not be the time for a parking occupancy tax, so that would be my recommendation. But so we can have a conversation about POT. And then the third main bucket is around transit occupancy tax, which is hotel tax and short-term rental tax. And I'm going to turn it over, if it's all right, Council President, to Mr. McCosker to give an overview of that and where we landed. And I know he has an amendment. So, Mr. McCosker.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Mr. President. On the transient occupancy tax in committee, we looked at the reports, one from the CAO and one from the Finance Department, and in the report that recommended that we consider a 4% increase now, between now and the end of the Olympic season, then going down to a 2% increase, made it through committee. And that's recommended to you today. I will have an amendment, and I won't speak to the amendment, but just to give everyone insight into what the discussion will be, I will have an amendment to add, not amend, but to add to the recommendation that we ask the city attorney to come back with a 2% increase and going down to a 1% increase after the Olympics. So two things would come back to us if that is the will of the body, and it would be an ordinance that has the 4%, 2%,
Oh, for sure, Evil.
and an ordinance competing with it. Only one would
But
go.
there's a reason why they did that, Evil.
Both would not go to the
That's to
ballot.
knock all those people that you're talking about out, so their big pals like Philip Morris can come in.
We have a separate
I'm sure
measure
Philip
that's
Morris
been
and people
pending
like
for
that
some
give
time
these
in front of
folks
us
a nice little
on a
envelope.
more discrete issue of the platforms like a
Be willing to bet.
Travelocity, and that's just an example.
I don't have
the
proof,
platforms that
but I'll be willing to
sell
bet.
hotel rooms to our constituents or to folks who come and visit us.
Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh stores are closing. Oh boy. No more Amazon Fresh.
That the hotel, that the price that the individual buys the hotel at. So let's say you're going to Hotel A.
Cash doesn't care,
and
Jay.
Get a price
Cash is a shill.
$100.
That dude hasn't done anything.
But the platform paid $60 for that hotel room. The platforms can, and sometimes do, pay the TOT on the $60 and not on the $100 that the individual bought their room for. And so we would close that loophole, and I would propose that we have a standalone provision on the ballot that closes that loophole to make sure that we are actually collecting the TOT on the price that the consumer pays. Seems reasonable. Estimations have been that it might be about $5 or $6 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Evil. I understand what's going on. And I'm not even in the game. I just smoke weed.
I want to be really clear about this. On the TOT
Simple to see.
measure that proposes a tax increase,
You made them jump through hoop after hoop.
that loophole closure. We should include
Put up $100 grand with no uncertainty that you get a license. Stifle them completely. And then when they're all done with that, oh, we'll take your great brand for $1 million. Here's $1 million. Get the fuck out of here, kid.
In that instance,
Then they eat your brand and they sell your brand.
Make sure there is language in each provision, one or both of the provisions, that says, should they both pass, the tax increase with the closure of the loophole will prevail. We do not want to put ourselves in a position that anyone argues
the Cubs
later
are that bad.
they would be arguing
Mad
against
trees.
our interests and in their own financial
They did win a World
interests to say
Series
those
not
two
that
things
long
conflict.
ago. And so did
So I just
the
want to be
Niners
really
were up
clear.
there too. I don't know
When
about
that language comes
White
back,
Sox
we
and
need the city
Raiders now.
attorney
You have a thing to
not
say.
only to help us close the loophole for the voters to consider, but that we make sure we don't create an internal conflict on the two votes, on the two ballot measures. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. McCosker. And now we'll hear from our CAO on the overall picture. Councilmember Hernandez, really quickly, while Matt's coming up.
Thank you, Council President. Gentlemen, I would like to make the motion to actually continue POT if that's possible, and send it back to committee.
Madam Chair? All right, Madam Chair, that's got it. Okay. Mr. CAO.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Because as the budget chair and
it's
Mr.
Danish.
McCosker have introduced some of the items, I'm not going to go through the full presentation, but what I do want to do before we get started with the conversation is just set the framework for this discussion. So as we proceed and discuss each of these items, I do want to just remind the members that we have two options for the items that
They must
would
be
require
mad
a
that
vote of the people.
Luis
Obviously,
Roberts
the June
got Lou
election
Bob got
and
traded.
The November election. Items that would be to be placed on the June
What's up,
election.
Green Thumb?
There does need to be an instruction given to the
No,
city
in
attorney
Alaska?
To draft the resolutions and ordinances by January 28th, by tomorrow. And then the final date to act on those resolutions would be February 11th. The deadlines
to
for
win
the
81
November
games
election
this year.
are in June. So the urgency of the discussion today is very
Well,
much about
we'll
the
see.
items that would be to be placed on the June election. Just very briefly.
Yeah, I met Eddie Lepp's wife.
To frame the discussion.
She came to Be
As
Real
everyone in
TV a
this
few
body
times.
knows,
Talked to her.
We've had some difficult financial challenges over the past 2 years, and there have been 2 consecutive years of budget reductions.
Bro, Nemo, you think that's a
there
bad
was much
haircut?
discussion
Should have
about
saw it
the
before.
$1 billion gap.
The whole top was gone. Like,
little over a year-
someone
or
fucked
just,
it up to where the
almost a
whole
year
top
ago
was literally
today.
like the size of a Danish.
The
That's why I call
council,
him Danish.
and the mayor, you've made the
Because it looked like
decisions that
someone
you needed
put
to
a
make to
Danish
close
on his
that
head
gap.
and shaved everything
For
else.
next year, we
The
are
whole top
looking,
was shaved. Like the side, This whole top was that
$91 million
way.
gap that is,
Except for a little part on the
outlook,
front. I don't know what
based
happened.
on
Obviously,
continuing levels of
somebody
service
fucked up.
and the assumed revenue which is in the adopted budget. However, in the last week, there were two major items that were approved or making their way
Yes,
to
91
the full
million.
council, that do increase next year's gap. The $30 million, which would be the
25 million
first-year
more for
three-year
LAPD.
plan on the Pacific Palisades rebuilding fee waivers. And then the action that was taken last week to authorize additional hiring for LAPD that will add $25 million in ongoing costs for next year. So again, this, although an improvement from where we were a year ago,
This is an
after
improvement.
2 years of budget cuts, a reduction of 2,500 positions, and an assumption that we are continuing service levels where they are today, at the diminished levels that they are today after the last 2 years of budget reductions. And just as a reminder of the incredible and costly needs that the city faces today.
Hopefully the White Sox will get back to their glory
$1
days.
billion in
Robin
backlog
Ventura,
requests. This is just backlog.
Bo
for
Jackson
sidewalk
and the
repair.
like.
There are currently 6,328 requests for repairs of sidewalks. Those are just requests, not the overall need. That would
Nobody
take $1
wants to
billion
play there. That's the problem.
to address
Free
all of
agents
those
don't want to
requests.
go there.
We also have more than 30,000.
You got to make it a
access
young,
ramps that
good
need to be
team
addressed,
first.
in the city,
And that'll bring a
at a
big
cost of
star willing to
$1.5
come
billion.
play with the young kids that are doing well.
HLA,
Like Baltimore.
which was approved, it is a mandate by the voters. We had a discussion about it prior to the election. I know there was some disagreement about my office's cost estimates, but the fact of the matter is we do not have the money today to even afford the street improvements that would trigger the additional HLA improvements. So we don't even know at this point, because we can't afford to do the street restructuring or resurfacing.
We're in
that would
trouble.
Trigger those investments. It is a mandate. The voters approved it.
A
We need
billion
to do it.
backlog
We
on
don't have the money
sidewalk
for it.
repair. $1 billion.
We also have over $1 billion in bridge repair. There is a huge backlog in
Holy
in
shit.
bridges that are substandard, and there are at least 4 major
Fucking bridge is gonna
that
come
are
down.
F-graded in the city that need to be completely replaced. And as everyone
Fisk was
on this council
fantastic.
knows,
Hall
we
of
are
Famer.
currently on a 17-year tree trimming cycle versus best practices of 5 to 7 years. So
What about
there
Rock
is clearly
Reigns?
a need, in addition to the expenditure discipline that this body has approved over the last 2
It is
years. We
base.
need to maintain discipline, but there is
Hi, Lori.
absolutely a need, particularly on the infrastructure side, for additional revenue.
Remember, there's 50,000
I
streets,
won't
Sean.
go,
It's a lot of
through
fucked
the
up
items,
sidewalks.
but as we get to each item,
And you
as
know,
we
when the
have a
people
discussion
were
on each
first
item,
putting
we will
trees
walk through and I'll
up
have a
long,
slide
long
up
time
that
ago, most of the
can guide
trees
the
fucked the
conversation.
sidewalks up. They shouldn't have
But
been planting big
the
trees
first set
like
of
that.
items,
Roots
these are
fucking
the items which
killed the
are
sidewalks. Now you got to
ready
replace
to
them.
Go. Essentially, the city attorney is prepared to provide that resolution to you by the deadline, should you wish to move forward.
Ooh, look at this milky ass
for
bag.
a
Let's go.
June
Smoke.
election for these items. As a reminder, each of these items
I get it,
would be
Evil.
would have
Not
a
me.
threshold
I'm
of
not the one
50%
doling
because it
out
would
the
be
money
a
for the
general
budget.
fund tax. So it would be up to
I know
this
what's
body
happening.
to determine in the budget process how those dollars would be used. These are not a special tax. That would be for a specific purpose. It would address the general needs. I will.
That's why
Mr.
you should
President,
fire all these
stop
people.
there and
Every last one of
prepare
them
to
should be
answer
fired.
questions as they arise.
All right, we've got a handful of members on the queue now. I'll just kick back to the budget chair. You've got any way to cap this, and then I'll call in members, starting with council members Padilla, Soto Martinez, and Millenfield.
Thank you, Council President. I would just ask if Matt Crawford from the office.
Oh, they're talking about multiple
Matt,
bridges, cats.
I'm not going to ask you to do it now, but
They
Collins,
won't
if
tell
you're
you
interested in
exactly
hearing
which
more
one is
about
poor.
The details around which this
That'll make
cannabis
the news.
exemption thing happened, I think it's kind of interesting, and there's sort of like it's sort of a double hit. in the way. We can't use the fees that we collect from legal cannabis shops to go after the illegal ones, and that's in the code. And then we also explicitly don't include illegal cannabis shops in the list of illegal businesses that have to pay taxes.
We're doing it now, White
I
Sox.
found that compelling, and so, of course, Mr. Crawford can speak to any number of things, but in case there's more interest in learning more about this loophole issue.
The bro looks creepy
I'll
as
leave it at
fuck,
that.
bro.
I guess just one more
Who
thing
is
I'll say
that
as long
guy?
as I have the mic. I know that it's always hard to put taxes on the ballot, and you know, you could see that on the last slide what all our unfunded mandates are. We have a lot of work to do to clean our own house up and make what we do more efficient and cost less. And
What kind of
the
fucking
budget
shoe is that
committee's
chick
gonna be
wearing in the
taking
back?
up
What is she
some of that
doing?
work around contracting and making
These
our
ugly ass
contracting more
shoes.
efficient.
Hey, girls, those are
Making
the
sure
ones
that
you
we're
picked
getting
out,
good
ladies?
value rather than paying a premium, looking at how we can put our real estate assets to work for
Those
our
ain't
general
Jimmy
fund.
Choos.
There's a lot of things that we can and should be doing to bring our own fiscal house into order and create efficiencies and grow revenue without raising taxes. But on the TOT thing, I'll just say one thing, which is that, you know, the last time we did this was, I believe, ahead of the '84 Olympics. Is that correct, Matt? The TOT increase. And with all of these events coming to LA over the coming years, if there were a time to do it, it would be now. So thank you, Council President.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Yaroslavsky. Councilmember Padilla.
Judge Alex Kim's on.
Yes,
Got
so
the
mine's
crazy
related to
Zoom
cannabis.
call going.
You know, given that it's something that we see in government operations, it's important for me to know how we support. It's always been a priority for me to support the legal ones and tackle the illegal market. So I understand that it's important for us to move forward with this policy change so that we can hold the illegal cannabis businesses liable to taxes. However, I'm very interested in understanding more of
Ian's
the
girlfriend.
process because I'm sure it's much more complicated than sending out a letter. Also, it must be different from Finance's previous tax discovery efforts where they reach out to illegally operating businesses and incentivize them to pay the taxes they owe with the opportunity to come into compliance and continue operating legally. The pathway for an illegal cannabis business to come into compliance with the city is much more difficult, lengthy, and complicated. So I'm curious, what are the incentives for these shops to pay us if it's not
Exactly.
necessarily attached to a legal permit?
Exactly, I wouldn't.
Matt Crawford.
Look at how weird he is.
I can barely hear you.
Fucking weirdo, wrote that
I can
forehead.
barely hear you.
Okay, Matt Crawford, Office of Finance. The policy proposal in front of you still would not address a lot of the compliance issues around DCR permitting. The kind of the factor in that really determines what we're talking about, illegal versus legal. What we would be doing is addressing just purely the tax side. The incentive structure around paying would be around the financial leverage that the Office of Finance can bring through collections efforts and taking the businesses to court.
Pretty much, Jamie.
In order to pay the liability.
Pretty
so this
much.
would bring about, assuming non-payment.
It's a prerequisite.
Kind of the discovery process you talked about. This would ultimately end up with collections efforts, likely.
Judge
civil
Joe
court
Kim,
cases
everybody.
to
Look
try
at him.
and
He's
collect
got a
the city's
full
money.
docket
And
today.
that's
You
in
can see the
our-
kid in the
our
juvenile
experience
room.
with the
Hold
rest
on.
of the business community. Those efforts are pretty successful.
See the kid in the juvenile room up here?
Businesses don't like being in those situations.
Right
so
here.
It's
This guy right
usually
here.
cost effective to resolve their tax liability.
There's
That's
the
my next
judge.
question. Is that cost
Judge
effective?
top left corner. If you've never seen Judge
Outside of
Alex
the
Kim,
cannabis world, yes.
it's a great watch on YouTube.
It's the
It's a juvenile
taking businesses to
juvenile
court
judge.
when the liability is
Juveniles
high,
only
can be
in
a
Tarrant
very
County, Texas.
cost-effective
Goes live.
method. I will say
These kids are wanted for murder.
threat of
All
court
kinds of shit at
is
15, 12.
probably more
Crazy.
cost-effective than actually going to court. Knowing that we can take you to court is a pretty strong hammer. If you owe us a little bit of money, it's usually more cost-effective.
Like, bro looks scary. If I saw him in an alley walking,
These
I
shots
might
tend
turn
to
around and
bounce around
and go the other
once they
way.
realize that they're being followed. So what techniques does finance or the related departments that usually tackle them plan to do. And I'm talking about, LAPD at my committee the other recently told us that this is not easy. So what would be the difference? Because we know that they bounce around.
It certainly, I would not characterize it as easy at all. I think these businesses will be relatively easy to find at first, and then quite difficult to tie down. We know ownership. We've heard from LAPD in their efforts. Ownership is often very hard to identify with these businesses. So we'll have to be doing the research on that. Finance through our collections work has a fair amount of tools to identify ownership.
Well, she's Mexican. That's why the Mexican flag.
I think we
she's
also have
American,
some
Mexican
leverage around
American.
property owners. So to the extent that these businesses have leases, the owner of the property that they're leasing from has an obligation to report that lease income to finance, and we can use that leverage on the property owners to identify the actual business owners. The identifying and tracking them as they move around will be hard. It'll be just as we're starting to think about how we would do outreach and enforcement. This is going to be kind of unlike the discovery efforts that we've been talking about using state databases and a lot of paperwork. This discovery and enforcement effort would be very boots on the ground. It'll require field forces for finance to actually be walking around with LAPD, physical presence, show up at their door, ask to see their certificates, get them signed up for tax compliance.
Okay, and my understanding is that what we have on the table is to fund studies that better explain this to us, right?
I believe what's on the table is a potential ballot measure to simply require tax compliance.
But we're asking for a report first.
So, council member, to be clear on the cannabis item, really the only decision that's before you is to make what will likely be a 1 or 2
Kids are
word
bad
change
over there.
to the ordinance, to the policy. Currently, we are restricted to applying the gross receipts tax to licensed businesses. This would essentially strike that and allow the city to tax licensed and unlicensed businesses. Everything else around that, the application, the enforcement, that is a policy matter that the appropriate departments, including finance in my office, would come back to you with a plan to determine moving forward. But even in order to consider moving forward with that, we do need to make that 1 to 2 word change in the voter approved ordinance.
Okay, no further questions, but I do recommend that we start to be more aggressive on putting the onus on the property owners that rent their facilities to these locations.
What an idiot.
No further questions.
What
Thank
an
you,
idiot.
Councilmember.
So now someone could move in, say, I have a haircutting joint, and all of a sudden they start running weed out of there. So you're the one getting in trouble? How could I need to sit there and police every day what my tenant does? Get the fuck out of here. She's the dumbest chick. She's one of the dumbest on that fucking horseshoe. That's the same fucking idiot that went viral asking the police chief to have ICE, to have them tip off. They wanted LAPD to tip the city council off on all the ICE actions, but so that way they could tell their constituents and they could get away. She legitimately asked it. It went viral.
Soto Martinez.
She said, no, ma'am, that'd be obstruction of justice.
First of all,
You need to talk to the city attorney about that.
The Budget and Finance Committee for working through many of these very complicated issues.
She wanted them to obstruct justice and tell them on camera that they were going to do it. How fucking stupid is she? It's another idiot that fucking just thrown in there because of who she is.
The different items here.
Okay?
1A, 1B, 1C, and then separated.
That's why.
6.
It's what you have when you get DEI. It's what you get. Stupidity.
to go back to committee. I know this.
Then you wonder why you're $100 million in fucking a deficit just for the year. You're $1 billion in the hole. You're just $100 million for just this fucking year.
Affects the city, so that's my first request. And then I have some comments about.
Fucking pendeja.
All right.
Excuse me, Mr. President. Is there a
That's the
second
perfect
to,
word for her,
Mr.
pendeja.
Martinez's,
Second, Councilman Yosowski.
He ain't very bright.
All right. More comments?
And that is to refer it back to Budget and Finance, sir?
I believe Clown, yes.
To Planning and Land Use Management.
Oh, to Planning and Land Use Management Committee.
And
Okay.
if the chair can do that
And it
without
looks like
objection,
there are
that
LA
would be
elected
order.
officials protesting and screaming at ICE at the
I
LA
also
Center.
want to talk a little bit
What-
about,
what's the LA
TOT.
Center? That was yesterday
I
or
understand that this is
something,
a very
Michelle. I think
complicated issue,
the video you're talking about.
And I want to just zoom out a little bit.
That's just their posturing
Last year we
to get the votes from all the immigrants.
and many
To
of
pretend to
the
care.
concerns that we heard
And you heard the ones coming in yelling at them. Apparently, whatever they're doing hasn't been enough. Right? They didn't sound like happy immigrants, did they? They sound like, hey, give me more. A lot of them were quite angry. Right? Angry in their language. Screaming into the mic. That's what I heard. I don't know about anybody else, but that's what I heard from a few of them.
And Councilwoman Rodriguez introduced one where it's, it excludes the hotels, but it focuses a little bit on short-term rentals. I second in that motion because I want to have the conversation about what's the best way to move forward with TOT. I want to understand a little bit more. I know I've been getting calls from the business community in my district. As you all know, Hollywood is, probably the second most hotel dense area in the city, and they have a lot of concerns. And so I want to be able to have that conversation. I don't know if we'll end somewhere today.
Yes, G-Wag says you should hit up the governor on Twitter and tell him how you feel. At Governor Newsom. Newscum.
So the public understands where I'm at on these issues.
I think all you guys should. Everybody who's angry that those California plates are rolling into town, wherever state and city you're in, I think you guys should let them hear about it. Thanks for sending all your twats here.
We do need to have revenues. This budget is going to be
You want it to change?
difficult, as you mentioned.
Let
we're
them
gonna have
hear your opinion.
A real balance of trying to
I
reduce
do it every
spending,
day.
reduce what we do overall, and hopefully have some revenue. First, on the cannabis aspect of it. When I first read this, I was dead set against it because I hate the idea of giving a license for taxes to a illegal shop. I don't want to collect revenue from these illegal shops. I want to shut them down. So when I first thought about this, I was like, no way I'm going to be against this. But then I thought about sort of the Al Capone thing, where they didn't get him for being a gangster. They got him for tax evasion.
Oh
and these guys can these illegal shops at this point
How about the homie
don't
just
have to pay
left
taxes.
it at my door?
So if we add that requirement,
Signature required,
that
and you
they,
just
like
left it at the
anyone
door.
else, have to pay taxes.
That's pretty awesome.
I don't want to collect from them. I want to shut them down. But that gives us another tool to go after them. And frankly, it's a stronger tool than just that they don't have a license. You cannot have a license and disappear and then not have a license again. It's pretty much a slap on the wrist. But when you don't pay taxes, it's a much stronger penalty. So that got me thinking, yeah, this makes sense. Let's make sure that they are required to pay taxes. But let's not spend a lot of time trying to get the money from them. As soon as we find out who they are, we need to shut them down. Because
I guess it did come in an Anvil case.
by having the legal shops.
It's so nice of FedEx to leave it at the door when it clearly said
Another tool in the toolbox to go after
signature required.
so that we can be supportive and get.
That's why you need to stay home, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a motion on 17C, which dealt with the vacation rental.
Well,
but since
it
that's
definitely
been
came in an
committee,
Anvil case.
I'm assuming that
Even says instant replay on the Anvil case. You see?
Fair to assume?
Instant
And the
replay.
reason I had that amendment and what I think needs to be discussed in committee is that
Look how
the
big
vacation
it
rental
is.
issue is not just about
All right.
revenue. It is also very much about housing and what the impact is on housing and
Christ.
what the implications are for the city and how much that costs us, both in terms of enforcement, but also if we have to make up for lost housing. So I had an amendment which has some additional questions like making sure that the number of nights that a that a unit could be rented out before it would generate more revenue than a short-term rental would be looked at, because that might be an important threshold. Looking at the impact of the overall housing stock as well as the affordable housing stock. So these are questions that need to be asked. But I recognize that, I just threw those questions together. All members of the committee may have other questions.
Thanks, why don't you
So
get on the
it goes back
tape
to
and I'm
committee.
going
We
to
can
put it
raise
on
those
you.
questions, and we can really have a full list of questions in addition to the revenue questions. The revenue questions out of context.
Jinx wanted to come
is
investigate.
problematic, but if you put them in context with everything else, then we can make a more informed decision. And with that,
oh my God, it's
I will
fucking heavy.
Support the motion moving forward.
Thank you, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank
Oh,
you.
shit.
So I'm going to first dovetail
Oh, shit.
on Mr. Blumenthal's conversation around short-term rentals. So
Da-da.
I, of course,
Da-da.
have an amendment that I put forward for 17B that says, given all the conversations that we've had, and we know the impacts on the Olympic Village and just the overall lack of tourism right now. I was hard-pressed to really fully consider this idea that we would now increase
Jesus,
the
this
TOT.
thing is big and
By the
awkward and
way, let's
heavy.
be honest.
Oh.
I've got to remind everybody,
Okay.
you know
All
how
right,
much
here.
TOT we're paying ourselves just through the use of
Well,
Insight
all right.
Safe. We're paying our
Got
own
the power
TOT
cord?
on that, so we're going to increase the charges on ourselves
Looks like it's in decent
by
shape.
extension of doing this, just to be clear. My proposal, and to
It's got XLR cables too.
support what you're
Came
saying,
with a full set of XLR cables. Nice.
we've had ample conversations about the
Ain't
lack
that
of new
nice?
housing construction that has occurred in the city of
Legitimate
Los
real
Angeles.
power cable.
The more housing that gets redacted for use with
Full set of
short-term
XLRs.
rentals, the more pressed affordability
And the
becomes in city of
original
Los Angeles.
owner's
We know
manual.
the nature of what happens.
Hey,
We
and
also
some
know,
and some
as
of
we've
the
seen with
well, they're damaged,
party
but it doesn't really
houses
matter.
and the
Some
like,
overlays, some
the
extra
increase in
overlays.
to LAPD response. So
Here we
as far
go,
as I was
ladies and
concerned,
gents. This
my
is what we were
amendment
waiting
was
for.
about
Let me show you
addressing
something, okay?
the affordability crisis
You
that we're
see?
in and the lack of housing
See this
that's
version,
being
how it's
used
beige?
short-term
This is
rentals.
version 1.
And so I
Okay?
felt
Now,
my amendment,
we've
and
got
I
version
believe my
2.
amendment is to
Now, we're going to get version 3
an
in
increase in TOT, then let's apply it exclusively
17 days. We're going to go buy it.
because it has very real and direct
17
implications on
days and we're going to
affordability in
get
this
it.
city.
So,
And so that,
oh, that's not
that
what
is
I wanted.
what
Come
my
on, where is
amendment
it?
puts forward.
Where is it?
So, and
Come
you know,
on.
just overall, and I appreciate
There it
Mr.
is, okay.
Osofsky and the,
Finally came.
committee
Just now.
looking at how are we
So
going
let's
to
hope it all works and
generate revenue.
gets all
That's
that
good.
going right. And
But we have to really look
cool that
at
it came in
how we
with an
also
anvil case. That's really nice of them. They didn't have to put that in there.
tighten the belts.
That's an extra $50,
And we
I
still
bet,
haven't
for a
had
nice little
conversation
anvil
about the
case.
cost of Insight
They're not
since
cheap.
The emergency order was lifted. The
So fingers
contracts that are
crossed.
still
Let's plug it
being
in and
awarded
see if it
and
just at
honored,
least
and
turns
knowing
on.
that,
That's going to be the
Abundant
first step.
Blessings was part of the Insight Safe
All
contract.
right.
So
yeah, let's
if we're
just,
not having a full conversation around where we're going to cut back, but we're going to talk to taxpayers about increasing more, it's a really big problem. That's a big conflict. That's an inherent conflict. And so for that, I'm concerned about all of these
All right. Oh,
issues.
it's already
but
powered
wanted to do
on.
my
I left
part
it
to offer
on.
some amendments that I think would make sense going forward. Matt Crawford, you mentioned that how would you go about collecting on this proposal for illegal cannabis operators to recover this business tax?
I think we would.
It's working.
We would start with discovery.
I don't know what it's playing. It's playing something right now. I just don't have it hooked.
A few different ways of kind of identifying the universe of businesses out there that are not currently in compliance. We would have to, since this currently they're not allowed to file for BTRC, so there's no. We wouldn't be collecting on prior year liability. There is none. We would need to let everybody know, everyone we could find, notify them that starting whatever the effective date is, you now owe, you have to sign up for BTRC.
Playing, but
So
I'm
there
not
would be
hearing
mailings.
it.
We would also, I think, do field work, actually physically show up to businesses and give them the information in the interest of taking care of my own staff. We'll want to be with LAPD for all of that, so we'll need that.
Am I not here?
There are probably other departments that we will need to involve along the way.
Right,
And
so
then once the notification happens, then it'll be a matter of follow-up, continuously kind of keeping track of who's registered, who hasn't, as we identify businesses that we need to follow up, we'll start with the enforcement audit process and then eventually collections, like we do for anyone else.
So Matt, I'm just going to let you know.
Got it.
I'm going to try and give a little bit of a synopsis of the history with illegal cannabis operations.
This is the stuff they had on it. What is this shit?
I introduced
What is this? See, it's just, dude, this came from, they were definitely touring using this shit for background music. You see what I mean? So it's on, it's working.
DCR's only role is to confirm whether or not
All right, she works.
operator is a legitimate
24K magic, is that what that is?
Subsequently, Mr. Harris Dawson introduced
Bro, they had all kinds of stuff on here.
a simple matter of the city attorney just sending a letter to the
Smooth?
property
All right,
owner
sweet.
to say, hey, you're harboring an illegal business, cease operations, and let's stop. Let's cut it out. Let's stop it.
Okay, so let me turn it
Don't
off.
even get the city attorney to do
Because
that
now we know it
in a
works, so let me
So
reroute
I
this
say
the
all
way
this
it's supposed to.
you,
Hold
and
on.
I appreciate your efforts to try and figure this out, but when you're talking about, for example, well, of course, for the safety of your staff, because we know the circumstances with enforcing on an illegal cannabis operation. It's why we have Vice and everybody going out helping to shut down the illegal operators. If all we're going to do is now send your staff out, staffed with LAPD officers because of the safety concerns, we still haven't really cured the symptom here and the problem. We haven't gotten to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is what's undercutting our ability to maximize the legitimate operators from fully honoring their tax is the fact that they're competing against the illegal operators that are allowed to flourish. And so I appreciate, listen, everyone's trying to look between the couch cushions and figure out what we can do to increase revenue. I got it. We all we also have to have the conversation about how do we rein things in the spending. That's actually first. And so we can't continue to ignore one part that represents over $300 million of annual revenue with Inside Safe or LASA and all of that. Can't talk about that. And Matt Szabo, it would be great if you help to actually produce the report that shows the redundancies in outreach and the redundancies that we're paying for without the verified results associated with the work. Because we could cut probably about another $20, $30 million from expenditures associated with that. So I just, colleagues, I warn everybody about this idea about the illegal cannabis. You're setting up unintentionally a false expectation that you're going to be able to hold these guys accountable.
Great.
Number two, you're still talking about using LAPD
Yes.
resources.
Yes.
And if we're going to do that, then let's just enforce with LAPD and do either the padlock or do the utility shutoff. And then we can actually get the legitimate operators who, by the way, went through the laborious process of getting approved and getting their license and everything else to be able to
laborious,
operate without being undercut by the illegal market. That's actually a better way to go. And you don't have to now create this idea that an illegitimate business and an illegal operator is somehow now slightly more legitimate.
I did get the case. You were right. He did send it in the case.
The guys that already
Instruction manual, everything.
They flipped us the bird and said, I'm not going to pay taxes, and by the way, I'm not even going to honor your process. to go
Jen,
out
thank you
and
so
be a
much.
legitimate operator in this city.
Yeah, Jen, thank
Now
you.
we're going to pretend that we're going to be able to get them.
And just really quickly, I want to thank all of you guys. Every single one of you who took the time to donate. You see how it works, okay? As quick as I can find one, as quick as we can get it, boom, it's already connected, it's working. I just connected the wires so we can start recording. So like I said, as soon as we're done here, and maybe one more bag, we'll be done, and then I'm going to start recording, okay? I'm going to spend the day doing as much as I can, getting all this down so we're right back to normal. And I want to thank you guys because, again, wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you. You guys are awesome. The vehicle out my door now, what? That's the trash truck. Okay. Hold on a sec. Is that too loud? That sound good? Just need to adjust the sound levels because I turned them down when we got everything going. So thank you guys. I appreciate you, man. And just like I told you, you guys see how I do it? You guys gave me all the money for the new one too. So don't think that this is the new one, because it's not. Remember, Raul and I will be talking on the 14th, which I believe is 17 days from today. So in 17 days, we're going to order that from Raul, the brand new one in the box. But remember, it's going to come from Florida. So let's be realistic. And in a month and a half from now, I would guess, we'll have the brand new one. And for now, you know, after tonight or tomorrow, it'll be back to normal to where you won't even notice the difference. And then we'll have the brand new one. Thanks to you guys. I appreciate you. You guys rock. Oh.
I just
Wario.
I want us to be in the realm of reality of how we're going to do this. But there's some very simple things that if we could just get the city attorney's office to do and send those letters out and start shutting those guys down, that would be great. And if we could just get, LAPD to work with all of these folks, we could go do the utility shutoffs for the illegal operators. You're going to get more compliance, I think, and cooperation from the folks that went through the laborious task of actually getting their license. So, and I think that would garner greater revenue for us. So, colleagues, again, I think, just to sum it up, with consideration to the TOT, my feeling is that we shouldn't be rewarding or treating everybody the same with short-term rentals. And I really believe that before we can really have a serious conversation and present to the taxpayers this idea that they should be paying more, that we do better with the money that they've entrusted us with. And so until we have that conversation about how we're going to actually get some guardrails and cut on homeless spending and a number of other areas. It's not just there. It's not just there. But until we actually have those hard conversations, especially in light of this abundant blessings.
I know, I need to shut up. I need all the mag drops back. I have lost all those.
Let's actually rein in the spending before you have the audacity to go ask taxpayers to pay more. Thank you.
Councilmember Nazari.
Don't you always ask us to pay more? And don't we always have to? We're fucking forced.
Quick question. When we're taxing businesses, what does that exactly include? Retail, manufacturing, all of the above?
All of the above.
Okay. Do we have a sense of how many different businesses there are on the retail, on the manufacturing, growing?
We do have that data. I don't have it.
That's fine. I just want to make sure that you do.
When businesses register with for their business tax registration certificate, they tell us what kind of business they are, what their business activity is, and we record that. That determines which class they're in and what rate they pay. So if you're selling clothing, you tell us, I'm selling clothing, and we sign you up as a retail business. If you're a computer consultant, you tell us that, and we sign you up under the classification for consulting services. And then all of that data is held in our system, so yes, we can track how many businesses are registered, how many of those kind of businesses are registered, how much they're paying, etc.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think that concludes our speakers that are on the queue. I want to thank our folks who've come to give testimony on these complicated issues. I just want to add on the cannabis piece. It is, looking at this $70 million number is a little bit hard to imagine that being real, given how, as everybody else said, how ineffective we are at closing a shop with a giant green fluorescent lit cannabis sign on the corner of a busy intersection. Somehow the city of LA, this is not a critique of our current city attorney or the other one. The last city attorney couldn't figure it out, and we still haven't been able to figure it out with a new city attorney. So, it's difficult to imagine that somehow we can go and collect $70 million. So I would just suggest you might run some scenarios for what you might collect, different scenarios that may sort of pass the giggle test, because $70 million that's just very difficult to believe given our history. At the same time, like Mr. Blumenfield, I believe if we can create another hazard for illegal operators, we should create that hazard. I will say, I can give testimony in my district, and I know in other parts of the city, the state has actually done enforcement based on failure to pay state taxes, and actually closed down illegal shops in my district using that. And we don't have that as a tool right now in the city of LA. And so with that, I want to ask the clerk to give us a calendar for where we are and what votes are before us at this time.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, it is best for the council to vote on whether to bifurcate 1A, B, or C.
All right. So the motion to bifurcate.
You ain't bifurcating nobody. No, y'all bunches of weirdos.
Yes. You have comments on it at this time?
Oh, a bunch of weirdos. I'm doing it.
No,
I knew it.
We bifurcate A, B, and C and vote on them individually.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's also some amendments.
So that's going to be the first 50 right there.
On each one of those there are amendments, right? All right.
So, first of all, it's best to do the bifurcation, and then.
All right, last bowl, and then I'm a
there
bag,
is
and I'm out of
also
here.
A motion Hernandez-Jarosowski to send item B, refer it to Budget and Finance Committee, and then after that there are a whole lot of amendments, and the last part will be whatever.
Tried to send me a sandwich sticker, bro. I can't. Can't, bro. What's up? What are you talking about?
Also include the vote on the rest of the items after this initial vote to
Oh, you
bifurcate.
big scary catty baby.
Okay, that was. All right. So out of everything you said, this is what I think we can do now. There was a motion to send an item to committee by Councilmember Hernandez. If there is no objection, that'll be the order of the chair. So we'll take care of that. It sounds like the second thing you said we should vote on is separation of this issue, because it's not a bifurcation because there's more than two. All right, so let's open the roll on separating these items. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right. What's next?
Okay, and just to recap, so what was sent
Total jackass. I can give it to you tomorrow. I just got the machine just now, and there's nothing on it other than what it's already what was already on the machine. I don't have a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. Get yourself a nice meal and something fun.
And then,
and hopefully you enjoy your born day. I'm sorry. Normally I'd give it to you.
Recommendation 1B, and that is
Just
the
can't until
parking
tomorrow.
occupancy tax to
Tomorrow
Budget and
I'll give it to you. How
Finance
about that?
Committee,
Come in and
that
remind
was
me.
sent.
I'll give you one.
So,
Thank you,
and
Legend
with
Valley.
that in mind, Councilmember Yaroslavsky, you made a motion to note and file 1B, so 1B is now referred to Budget and Finance, so we will, council can get rid of that motion to note and file.
Thank you.
So the next item, Mr. President, that is before council is 17D, and that is council Motion McCosker, Hutt.
All right. Let's open the roll on the McCosker-Hutt amendment. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right.
And next would be item.
Thank you guys for giving him a happy birthday.
Amendment 17B, like
in the
boy,
room.
and that is motion Rodriguez Soto Martinez.
There you go. There's some happy birthdays for you too in the chat from the fam. Bam bam. What are you doing? You're just trying to make Dad's stuff bad and hurt all his stuff?
All right,
That's
let's
what
open
we're
the
trying
roll
to do,
on
huh?
17B as Councilmember Hernandez.
Bad boy.
Vote on it.
All right.
Get out of the way,
Let's-
stinking pigs. Fatter catter.
It's not registering.
How do I know what drops I've lost? Well, Trent,
Mr. McCosker?
I know a lot of them right here.
Stand 17B.
I have
it would
the
have
first
effect
50 right here,
of
okay?
Taking
This is like a cheat sheet that lays over the top, an overlay.
putting
Now that'll just give you the first 50 that we use the most. Okay, Figueroa, gunshots, boner, you know, welcome, all that stuff that we use. Jaws, the Cypress Hill, you know, the Cypress Hill concert, all that stuff.
Open the roll on this amendment.
And then I know I need the rounds, I need happy birthdays.
Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
You know what I mean? Because I know it was all in this machine. So
3 ayes, 11
I'll do my
noes.
best to get as many as I can remember.
17B fails.
You know, and then you'll be like, oh man,
All right, what's
okay,
next?
that's what I
Next
need, and
would
then you'll
be
write that down, and
17A
as you
like
go,
apple, and that
a
is
few weeks
motion
later, they'll all be
Padilla.
back.
All right, let's open the roll.
Thank you, Legend Valley,
on that
for
item.
another.
Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
Opened a cardboard box
13
with the
ayes,
word
1
unboxing.
no.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Well, it had a double unboxing. There
And
was the
finally,
box, and
it
then,
is
well, it was really just the
17
anvil case.
as amended.
It was
All right.
easier for them just to send it in the
Let's
anvil case.
Open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
It's no different than the rock stars do. They
12
ship their
ayes,
shit
2 noes.
in anvil cases so it doesn't get damaged.
All right. Councilmember Jurado.
Point of order, Council President.
That's how you know this was a Turing
I
piece.
thought there was a motion
Somebody
to
was using
bifurcate,
this.
To the individual taxes. I understand that the park and occupancy tax was moved to committee, but I think then we would have to vote on the parking, the transit
Cow sound? No,
occupancy
that's in
tax,
the other one, I
and
think.
then
Oh, no,
the
I think I
other
have this
cannabis
one in here.
separately, together
I have
as
that one.
amended.
I
All
got
right.
looking at my gut. I
I
had
think
that one already.
that's similar to my understanding. I think that's the understanding of the chair, Madam Clerk. We just voted 17 in its entirety, and I think the intention was for us to vote on the separate items one by one.
So, I think maybe to move to
Yes.
reconsider the vote,
Then it's best to reconsider 17.
and Councilmember
All
Lee
right.
seconds, and
All
then I
right.
think we might want to vote on 17-1A, and
I
then
love you.
17-1C.
All right, let's open the roll on reconsideration. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
Yep, the whole time.
14 ayes.
All right. All right. So let's
What's up,
vote,
Mama?
Madam Clerk.
Mama.
Put whatever letter or number you want on it. Let's vote on cannabis.
That would be
Vote on the weed. Yeah, see his face? He be smoking that weed.
C.
All right, and that includes Councilmember Padilla's amendment.
He be
It
smoking
should.
that weed, I
Yes.
All right. So it. I know we voted on it, but now we have to vote on it as a full package. Yeah, we're running out of numbers and letters. All right. So this is cannabis as amended by Councilmember Padilla. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes, 1 no.
All right, and we sent
Monica's
parking
the only
back
one,
to
the cow.
committee.
She's the only one who said no.
So, yes.
All right,
And so
Councilmember.
the
I'm sorry, Councilmember Rahman.
Before we vote on the TOT item, I just wondered whether Councilmember McCosker, you might say what we're voting on with your amendment, because we're basically asking for the city attorney to draft 2 different rate increases, and then when it comes back to us, we'll have to pick which one is going to the ballot? Is that what's happening?
That's correct.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would be two different tax increase proposals.
And one is
of
for
which-
4% going down to 2%, and yours is 2% going down to 1% after the Olympics.
Yes. And then in addition, a separate measure that closes the loophole on the platforms, on the Travelocities of the world.
And so the next step, just so I understand, will be that these two different options will come back to us sometime before February 11th, and we'll have to pick between them?
Yes.
Or not, it's not that everything will go to the ballot?
No, I suppose everything could go to the ballot, but that's
Sure.
not what I'm proposing, that we would pick one or the
I
other
love
on
you
the
too many
increases.
times.
And I would urge that we, regardless of what we do, we close the loophole.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Rahman and Councilmember McCosker. I think just to add a little bit to that discussion, which I think was very helpful, is what we are doing today is asking for proposals that we have to consider by February 11th if they're going to go on the June ballot. So nothing we decide today is on the ballot. We have to come back and say we like it, we don't like it, you know, and then take another vote on February 11th to go to the ballot. Councilmember Nazarian.
Jesus Christ. They're confusing themselves.
Doing 2 votes now or 1 vote?
Somebody already
Are we
likes the new
voting
machine.
for 4 and 2.
Look at him, he's already
separately,
sleeping on the
2
new
and
machine.
1 separately. And then we've already voted on McCosker, so that's fine.
Yeah, so we
2
already-
and 1 is done.
yeah.
So right now it's just 4 and 2.
No, I think we're voting on asking the city attorney to bring all of them back to us, all of the TOT measures back to us. So they'll bring back both 4 and 2 and 2 and 1.
Okay.
And theoretically,
4 and 3
we pick one
and
of them
2
or
and
neither.
1.
Right?
Okay.
Steven stinks
All
like
right.
that. He's already making it feel at home.
So, Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Sorry, thank you, Council President. I just have a question. I want to make sure, Mr. Zabel, you said at the outset that we needed to make sure that whatever language we're adopting
Bobby, I'll bite
today
ya. I'm
requires
gonna
the city
bite you
attorney to
next
come
time
back
with
with
my
drafted
baby key.
ordinances, that we need to instruct the city attorney to draft resolutions and ordinances by January 28th, which is tomorrow. And the final date to act upon those resolutions will be February 11th. Do we need to say anything in what we're doing right now to effectuate that, or is that already taken care of?
I believe that's included in the Budget and Finance
Okay.
Committee report.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember
Wonderful.
Yaroslavsky. All right, Madam Clerk, can we reset what's before us?
Just wanted to just verify the remaining votes is right now, the vote is on 17-1A, and that is the transient occupancy
There's
tax.
$1 billion in
And
debt,
then
Dev.
the
They're
final,
$1 billion
final
in
vote
debt.
is on
That
the
$100 million
remaining
was
of
just for the year, Dev.
So this one is 1A.
They're $1 billion in debt right
1B
now.
was already, I'm sorry, 1C was already.
And just a couple years
voted
ago,
on just now.
we were actually
right.
we were good. You know, we weren't in any kind of deficit. We weren't
open the
about to
roll.
go bankrupt. And all of a
Close the
sudden,
roll.
all the
Tabulate
money
the
just
votes.
went somewhere.
Ayes, 3 noes.
No investigations, no
All right.
nothing.
What's next?
Next is 17.
I mean,
as
Gavin Newsom
amended.
just stopped an audit
All right.
of the homeless money. Why do you think
Let's
anybody
open
would
the
do
roll,
that? Why would
close
you?
the roll,
Why would you
tabulate the
stop an
vote.
audit of the homeless money that was
13
spent?
ayes, 1 no.
Don't you want to see where it was
What's
spent?
next?
Where it went?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Unless you don't
the
want
posted
people
and
to see
referred.
where it went.
Desk is clear, sir.
Nothing to
Councilmember,
see here.
the desk is not clear. We got Councilmember Padilla on the queue.
Yeah, I'd like to change 17, my vote on 17B.
Oh, the moron.
All right.
matter.
Does that change the outcome?
Of course not.
17B to a no, correct? Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't change shit.
And Councilmember Rodriguez.
Oh, wanted to send item 9 urgent forthwith.
All right. Without objection, that'll be the order. Councilmember Hurtado.
Yeah, there's nothing to see
Nothing.
here.
Okay.
Nothing but fru
Councilmember
ads.
Yaroslavsky.
17 forthwith.
This is 17 urgent
More
forthwith
fru ad.
without delay. All right.
This is what DEI gets you, Pepe.
Mr. President, for,
This is what happens when you
council
hire
to
everybody
vote
just
on
because of
the
their
urgent
skin color,
forthwith
or
for
because they're
9A,
gay, or because they have a
17.
vagina
All
or
right,
a
can we do them
dick.
together?
Yes, sir.
Just hire
All
the
right,
best people,
let's
no matter
open the
what
roll
they
on
look
urgent
like.
forthwith
That's
on
not how
9
they do it.
and 17.
And that's
Yes,
why you
sir.
get
All
this.
right. Let's open the roll. close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Okay, and they're all knee benders. They found the biggest knee benders they could find of each group.
14 eyes.
Right on. All right.
Right on.
Motions are posted and referred.
All this work and
Announcements,
nothing
members?
gets done. All this work and nothing gets done. City's still in
Announcements.
shambles, still
All
broke,
right,
nothing
Councilmember
getting
Park?
done. I don't give a fuck what Tracy has to say. She could suck a fat dick. Tracy, you could suck a fucking fat one. Coming to work with a fucking hoodie, $200,000 salary, and you come to work fucking dressed like this? Like, really? You come to work dressed like that, in a fucking hoodie and a jacket with your hair uncombed, and you get $250 goddamn million a year? A fucking shame. Disgrace. These fucking people. They should be held to a higher standard. You better come in a suit and tie or a nice dress. I want to see you that way. You're representing us. You work for us. I don't work for you. Okay? You're representing our city. You represent it well. I need to see you in that shit. Yeah, I know, Johnny. It happened a few hours ago at the border. I don't believe it was an ICE shooting. It was just a border patrol shooting at the border. You know what I mean? So we'll see what goes on. I mean, of course, they'll spin it that way, so don't worry about that. Look, another person shot. I see 4 people shot. I don't see. Everybody keeps telling me about Americans getting shot. I haven't seen one American get shot. I've seen 4 anti-Americans get shot. That I've seen on American soil. Sure, absolutely. 4 anti-Americans did get shot. I don't see any Americans that got shot, in my opinion. Damon, don't be mean. Suit and tie is Nazi gear. Yes, everybody's a Nazi. Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. What channel is this? This is Highland Hills. Highland Hills. Hyland. Hills. Common spelling. In Minnesota. It's not far from Joe. It's like 25 minutes from where Joe's at right now. Something like that. I think that's what they were saying. And I like it. It's just fun to watch. You know, it's just kids having fun. Some of them are really good, man. That jump, if you look all the way to the left, there's a bigger, the big jump is to the left. Like this kid's coming over right now. Let's see. There he goes. So look at him. See, that was good. So some of them are really good, man. These could be the next fucking Shaun Whites. You know, next Flying Tomato right here. Because you got some really young kids, if you see. Some of them are fucking 5, 6 years old. They could definitely be the next gold medalist. Oh, man, Mr. Herman's there now, huh? Hold on. Hold on. Why can't I fucking hear it?
Got an adjourning motion on my left. Any adjourning motions to my right? All right. Councilmember Hernandez.
Yeah, fucking Mr. Herman's there now.
Thank you,
but
Council President. I would like to adjourn.
he's busy flicking everybody off. See, I bet you he came in and he couldn't get in. I bet you that's what it was. He was stuck outside. Same with Audit LA and the girl she hangs out with. I bet you they were all stuck outside because there were so many people that showed up. Oh my God. So this is what we're doing. We didn't remember the veterans on Veterans Day, but remember this guy here. Got it. Check. Again. Anti-Americans. They didn't remember veterans on Veterans Day, but they remembered this guy. Got it. Check. Don't care about their eulogy to him. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about them, him, any of them. You put yourself in those positions, you fuck with the bull, you get the horns. And I'm laughing at the people that get gored. Yes. Damon, how do you suggest shipping multiple low-end cards whilst using standard envelope? Like if I were to buy 5 and get 5 free. Megarty, you can't do that. I'm going to tell you now, you can't do any more than 3 normal size cards in top loaders, because that's how you should be sending them anyway, so they don't get damaged. So any more than 3, the package becomes too thick. So after that, there's no way you're going to ship even 5 in 5. So yeah, you're going to have to pay for ground advantage first class. So he just did a flip. That's crazy. See, look how good they are, bro. Like, I'm telling you, these kids are good. Not one of them fell right there. All of them had some pretty decent air. One of them did a backflip. So yeah, I'm telling you. So yeah, that Maggotty, there's really no way to get around that. That's the double-edged sword sometimes. But you got to like chalk it up to this. I mean, you can have them pay for the shipping. Okay, but you'll probably make less sales. So you can do that. Or you, like I always say, selling 2 cards, sometimes people buy 1 or 2 cards. When you sell 2, you can ship it for 1%. I mean, I'm sorry, for 1 ounce. See, he was right there. You can ship it for 1 ounce, which is 79 or 74 cents if you're buying the stamps from eBay. And that can get you 2 cards for 74 cents. So those times where you're now saved 74 cents here and 74 cents there, you chalk it up and buy the $5 shipping for that one person. Also, because you want the quicker they get it and the better you pack it, you got to remember you may not make nothing or much of anything on that one sale, but what you did do is create a new customer, which is worth much more. Okay? So you eat one sale to create a good customer base. Okay? So that way, whenever they're looking for something, they're probably more apt to come to you to see if you have it. You know what I mean? And just buy it from you. So to me, it's worth something to just, buck up and pay the extra money. Because remember also, since you're paying for the shipping, that's all a tax deduction. So at the end of the year, every fucking stamp, I'm telling you, I had almost $9,000 in stamps that I bought last year. $9,000. That's a lot of stamps. Okay? And I best believe every bit of that I put in to get as a tax deduction. Any packing supplies, all the receipts to that, you save all that. So it comes back to you. That's it. Customer acquisition. That's it. That's it. Because remember, it's a business. So you want to start off on the right foot, especially with the first sale to I make sure, not to say that I don't take care of the return buyer, because I always do, but I make sure that everything is perfect with the first-time buyers. Without a doubt, I double-check everything, the card, how I put the tape over the top of the card so it doesn't look like it's sloppy and I just slapped it in there. Presentation is everything, and you only get one chance at a first impression in life. Remember that. So I take pride in what I do, man. I really do. I take pride in my store. And that's just the way to do it, I think. I think it's the best way to go about it, because you'll end up getting more bees with all that honey. You know what I mean? They understand you're treating them well. You're doing it right. You're shipping fast. So you're doing everything you can do. And that means a lot. When somebody asks you a question, you respond. You know what I mean? You don't dick off. Do that. If you want to have a good business online or anywhere. I don't know, Johnny. We've been doing bag after bag. I think I'm on bag 5 or 6. Who does my taxes? My accountant. He does them. I ain't trying to go to TurboTax or H&R Block or any of those places. They're usually not good. They're going to charge you too much. So remember, anything and everything you're spending, especially eBay too, costs you money to sell on eBay, right? To have your store, if your store's really small, it doesn't. But Any kind of normal store costs you at least $20 a month, right? Don't forget that too. Okay, that's another tax deduction. So that's going to help you out in the long run. Okay? So remember those things. Don't forget. So, yeah, I mean, that's how I'm a nobody seller, but I mean, shit. I do have, almost 16,000 items sold because I'm trustworthy. People understand that when they buy something, not only are they going to get it, but they're going to get it right away. There's a card right now that just went missing. I told you about the guy who's livid. Card's still not there, but what can I do? There's a huge snowstorm between him and I. There's nothing I can do about that. He's angry, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? There's nothing I can do, so we'll just have to deal with it. eBay is horrible. They take a percentage out of every sale. Yes, absolutely they do, Evil. But also I ask you this, Evil. There's nowhere that you can go. Well, I say this. There's nowhere I can go or you can go where you'd have a bigger audience base than eBay. Nobody's bigger than eBay. Not Whatnot, not any of these fucking sites that you could ramble off. Nobody's bigger than eBay. Like them or not. It's like YouTube. It's a monster. You have to be on it. Even if you don't like it, you have to. It's just how it is. Okay? I don't know anywhere else that I can, for $20 a month, sleep all day long in my bed, and all of a sudden I wake up and there's 8 more sales. I didn't have to talk to anybody. You know how much it costs for a brick and mortar here? The electricity, the insurance, and then you have thieves coming in and stealing Pokemon cards every night. Nobody's catching them. You got to fix the broken window. When you look at it, not to mention paying people to run your store, you got to be there all the time. You have people coming in that just want to talk when you're trying to help and you need to help others. So I can get all that done, all at home without having to do any of that and pay any of that, just a little bit to eBay. So to me, it's worth it in that sense. Do I like paying the heavy fee? I don't. Nobody really does. But you are paying for something. You are paying for their eyes. Their billion users across the world. That's what you're paying for. That costs something. It costs them to get that all up and running and amass these people. That's the thing, is people don't want to pay for that. Well, I mean, again, if I were to go to a baseball card store show, I'd have to pay $300 for one day just to put my shit out and hope to sell something. If I went to a swap meet at the Rhodium, I'd still have to get $100 at least just to be able to have a little 8x8 slot and put my cards out and hope to sell something. And I had to go there, set up, sit there 8 hours, talk to everybody, close everything up, put it all away, drive all the way back home, waste $5 a gallon gas. So, you ask me, eBay is perfect for me. Because again, I can do this job right here and sell cards and have 2 jobs going at one time. I couldn't do that if I opened a brick and mortar baseball card shop. I could not do that. Not to mention, when you have a shop, you're reliant on what's around you. How many people go 100 miles to a supermarket or anywhere? You don't. You find one closer. You'll find a closer baseball card shop. Do you understand? So eBay, you got the world looking at your shit, not just the 100-block radius around my shop. Does that make sense? I mean, there's so many. You got to look at the apple from every angle. I don't like paying their fee. Is it exorbitant? Yes. But you're getting something for it. I don't work for eBay. Fuck them. I don't care. I fight with them all the time about shit, how they should cover things sometimes and they don't. But again, if I had a brick and mortar, people come in and steal. Ask Target, right? Why do you pay more for your shampoo? Because people come in and steal. So there's going to be some sort of loss every day with being a business owner, whether it's online or whether it's in a normal brick and mortar that people walk into. Okay? And I've done both. I've ran a brick and mortar, I've run eBay, and I'm telling you, eBay is much easier for me. That's just what I'm saying. Just for me. Maybe somebody wants to wake up and be at a shop and sit inside of a cubicle in a shop for fucking 8 hours every day. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. What 3 cards did you sell yesterday? Griffey rookie and a rookie Dodger player. Johnny, I don't know. There's quite a few cards I sold yesterday. Like 26 packages. One package alone had 7 cards. So, yeah, I sold a few. I think I made $1,400 yesterday. But one card was, I sold one card for $1,300 yesterday. So, yeah, see, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more packages, 9 more cards that have to go out now. I claim eBay on my taxes. Absolutely. You have to. They're sending you 1099s, so you have to. So if they're going to do that, I'm going to fucking... You're going to tax the shit out of me, I'm going to get you for every single deduction I can get. And I mean every penny. For every thumbtack I use, everything. Oh, that's you, Johnny? Okay. Johnny, do me a favor. If you didn't already, just send me a message on eBay saying, hey, it's Johnny from SNS. That's all you have to write. That way I can put some stickers in your pack. Because I don't know that it's who's who, you know what I mean? I don't know your real names. So if you haven't done that already, let me know so I'll put some stickers. And it goes out today. So it'll be out today by 4 o'clock. You have unopened boxes of 88 tops. Yeah, that's not a good thing, Johnny. You want to get rid of that. I mean, it'd be better off to keep you warm and throw it in the fireplace. Because 88 tops is about the worst year. I think it's literally the worst year of all junk wax years, 88. There's no good rookies in 88. Jim's Junk, thank you so much. We stopped selling vinyl online because online buyers are the worst. They lie. eBay always sides with the buyer. Yes. We love being shopkeepers. It is a blast. See, Jim, well, I think, with something you're doing, for sure, it's that people enjoy coming into the brick and mortar and the experience and, thumbing through vinyl and getting to hear it and listening to the music you're already playing and the nice people like you and Jill that run the place and, you know what I mean? That kind of a thing. You know what I mean? I think that's what they come for. It's almost like a dive bar, like Cheers, everybody knows your name kind of thing. So I think, each business is kind of different. And don't get me wrong, people love hanging out at baseball card shops too. That's my point. People will sit there for hours and talk your head off, right, about sports when you're trying to help somebody else. So it can't be that way. Thank you again, Jim. I appreciate you. And I get you, there are scammers everywhere. There's people that, tell me they didn't get their card. It's clearly marked delivered. And then I don't know if it is delivered because they mark things delivered sometimes that aren't delivered because I've had that happen to me. So, I mean, you know how it is. I mean, look, we just had fucking FedEx leave that fucking machine that was $600 sitting at my doorstep with a giant anvil case. I mean, bro, come on. Anybody driving by seeing that big-ass case, you don't think they would have taken that? Of course they would have. Especially because it's an anvil case. They know, and they can feel the weight in it. Obviously, it's got something that's electronic in it. Or some sort of, musical piece or something. I mean, that's the same thing, you travel drum sets and all that shit. Guitars, they all go in those things. So, yeah, it's crazy that they left that out there. Nowadays people just don't care, man. Baseball card shops have the most and small boombox playing the radio as far as yeah, no, for sure. I mean, a lot of times they'll have them, TV up playing some sports games, stuff like that too. Hey, when you got any of the Smoke and Scan shirts, the first one, you mean the one that Supreme logo take off? No. I only made like 200 of those, and whoever got one, got one. Tucker, here, I'll link you the page. Hold on, look, Tucker. Click that link tree I just put in the chat and go all the way to the bottom. The last link on the bottom, you'll see the eBay emblem. It'll say LA Sports Cards. That's me. So, and if you buy anything and pay for it before 4 o'clock today, it will go out today. And if you do buy something, put in a buyer's note. Say, hey, this is so-and-so, you know what I mean, from Smokers Can. Just say this is Tucker from SNS, so I can put some stickers in there for you for free. Can I make 200? Well, no, Johnny, that was the point. That's why people bought them, because they knew they'd be limited to those 200 and you'd never get them again. Now, I'm waiting for Steph. Stefan's really busy. He's just been super busy doing all kinds of things. Just finished tour. So I've been waiting for him to come over to the house so we could go to his merch guy, because apparently his merch people are like right down the street from me. They make all of his merch, stickers, hoodies, everything. So I want to meet these people. Then I'm going to get rid of the store that you currently shop from because they charge too much. And I think I'm just going to make smaller amounts of stuff, and it's all just going to be limited. So when we do a shirt, it'll be 100 shirts or 200 shirts. That's it. And that's that. That way I can make a little bigger percentage. And yeah, we'll see where that goes. Better material and stuff too. I can, Johnny. Just leave me the note. I absolutely can. Just leave me the note. That's all. So your rosin pre-sale, $160 a jar. Yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of folks. My friend Adam, he used to do the Secret Sesh down here. He was the host, and that's really what it was. I mean, think of a farmer's market, but all it is weed, and concentrates. People got together in a big place. There was a DJ. Some people would come up and, perform. There's giveaways and raffles. And, you could just go and buy and consume right there. People serving foods you can eat, drink. It's fun. Tommy's riling him up. I wish he could fucking go closer, man. I hate that they don't allow him to go all the way up. It sucks. I'm telling you, Sandwich, these kids are good, dude. I'm not saying it just to say it. These could legitimately be USA's next gold winter medalist. Winter Olympic medalists. Let's see this next guy come down right here. He's going on the big jump. Let's see. Oh, he didn't do nothing. He just stayed on top. That was weird. He's having fun. Let's see this next one right here. Let's see if he jumps. Ooh, this guy dude, look at that. That's air right there. Look at this guy coming. Bro, come on. They're good, dude. 88 sealed tops is terrible, Johnny. I'm trying to tell you. It's the word. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't pay $5 a box for that stuff. Someone said, here, dude, I got 100 boxes. Just give me $5 a box. I wouldn't. You know why? Because there's really nothing in there. You know what I mean? It'd be for the fun of opening it. And there's not much fun because there's just nobody in 88. That's it. And even in 89, there wasn't anybody really except for Biggio and Randy Johnson. Because Griffey came in 89, but he wasn't in the 89 Topps set. He was in the 89 Topps traded. So you couldn't get him in packs. You had to buy the little set to get Griffey. So he was only in packs in 1990 and further. So that's why I say, no offense. 87 isn't, well, actually 87 is a lot better because you have Bo Jackson's rookie, right? You got Barry Bonds' rookie. You have Bonilla's rookie. You have Palmeiro, who was big at the time. He's a rookie in there. Will Clark's a rookie in there. Mark McGuire's all rookie cup card is in there. Canseco's second year card is in there. I mean, it's definitely a lot better when you really look at it in the scheme of things. I mean, I get it. It's not worth a whole lot more. You're right in that sense, right? Heavily produced. That's why when you look at those sets, like the ones to get are the Tiffany versions. They're 86. Well, 86 isn't much better, bro. I got to be honest, Johnny, because 86, again, In 1986, the only good card in 86, other than getting maybe like Pete Rose's last card or something, is Cecil Fielder. Everybody else is in the traded set. Bonds, Bonilla, Palmeiro, all of them. They're all in the traded 86 Topps traded set. Just like Griffey was in the 89 traded set, they were all in there. So 86 again, 86 and 88, I got to tell you, are probably the worst two junk years. The worst. Clemens is 85, White Sox. 1985. And you had Clemens, you had Eric Davis, you had Kirby Puckett. 85 is a solid year. It really is. And Puckett cards are like, they're through the roof. People love Kirby Puckett, man. Rest in peace to Kirby. But so, yeah. 85 still a solid year. Plus, again, Pete Rose still has cards in 85. And, so. I have 20 sealed boxes of 92 Upper Deck. Fuck, that's no good either. Bro, what did you do? Why did you buy all this junk wax? Let me guess. Somebody owed you some money for some shit. They didn't have the money to pay you, so they gave you a bunch of junk wax as payment. I'm willing to bet. Because, 92, again, isn't so great. Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. I think there's hold on a second. 92, I think, has Nicholas Lidstrom rookies, who's Hall of Famer. Best Swedish defenseman to ever play the game. But other than that, there's not too much. You have a bunch of Kirby. Yeah, people love Kirby Puckett. Owed you 20K. Yeah, see, I knew it. See, Johnny? See how I didn't know, but I knew? Because, Johnny, I got to tell you also, got a Can-Am side-by-side. Nice. That's worth some good money. Don't get me wrong. Someone may pay you $5-10 a box for those things. Just sell them all for $10 a box or something. They're not really, they're just not worth much, Well, Pavel Bure's in the high number, Johnny. You better have high number. I'm trying to tell you, you're talking to the card guy here. Okay? I understand. Okay? He's only in the high number set. He's a young gun in the high number set. He's not in the base, in the low series. He's only in the high numbers. So if they're high numbers, then you're good. You got a mothership too? Shit, you should have sold that a long time ago. I don't think motherships are getting what they used to. They used to be $10,000 for 5-10 grand for a mothership. I don't think they're that now. Name and the value of Cal Ripken rookies unopened box and packs. Well, you'd have to look up. I'm sure it's a couple grand easy for Ripken 83 tops. Because again, or 82 tops. Sorry. No, see, hold on a second. Now, 82 tops again. Ripken was in the traded set. He wasn't in there. Pretty sure. Yeah, so in tops, you couldn't get his card in packs until the second year. But if you wanted his rookie, you could get a Donruss, 82 Donruss, or the 82 Fleer. You can get those in packs. Well, rookie Wayne Gretzky signed personally by him. Now, that's a good card. Especially if it's an O-Peachy, Johnny. If it's an O-Peachy, that card could be $10,000. And if it's perfect shape, it could be worth millions. In fact, I believe there's only 2 O-Peachy perfect 10s in the world. The last one sold for $3 million. And that one wasn't signed. So if you sign it, I don't know. So that Gretzky card could be a really big card. Rookie autograph by Eric Dickerson. Yeah, I have a perfect Gem Mint 10 Dickerson. They're hard to find. I bought it for $475, and I don't know, 10 years ago. Now that card's worth about $1,000. They sell for about $1,000. Oh, somebody bought a card. A Mick Abel card. It's here. We got it. The new sound machine's here. Costs. I got to get off so I can start recording. I just set it all up, made sure it all worked. It does, thankfully. So yeah, I just turned it off so I got to get the cat out of the way. He's sitting where the computer has to go in order to connect it to the machine so I can start doing the drops. Willie Mays rookie. Yeah, it don't matter. Look, sometimes it's cool to just have the card. That's the problem with grading White Sox. So many people are infatuated with the grade number. To me, I'm buying the card. I have a Rowdy Piper 7 rookie. I could easily afford a 10, but I just liked the 7. It was good. It looked clean. It was nice. I bought the card, not the grade. You know, and that's just, and I keep it for me. I'm not selling it. It's for me. You know, so I just think that you should just be happy you got something really cool like that. You know, don't worry about the grade. Enjoy. It's a cool card. I don't have one. I wish I did. Let's see, $1 million card. Let's sell the $1 million card and split 500 Shit, I'd love to send it here. Let's do it. You got to get it graded first. You got to send it to PSA. That way they can authenticate that he signed it. And I know you probably have a picture with you and Wayne and the card and a video of him signing it. None of that matters. None of it matters until that grading company says it's real. Nobody gives a fuck until then. They'll take their word, not yours. And then after it's slabbed and authenticated in a holder, shit, then you can send it to Golden Auctions, or we can sell it, whatever. Make really big money, dude. I mean, fuck, a autograph Wayne Gretzky auto, I'd be interested in buying that for me. I'd have to look and see what those things sell for. It depends on the grade, but I'd buy it for my collection to keep. I would. Got a stick too? Oh yeah. See, yeah, especially if it's the Titan wood sticks over the Easton. And now the Eastons still sell really well too. I think they're about $1,000, $1,500, somewhere in between that range for an autograph, legitimate, real Gretzky stick. You know, not one that's just a pro model that he signed. Those are way cheaper, $300 or something. But if he stamped for him and he actually used it, yeah. Apparently, magazines are now big. So I know you guys have magazines lying around the house, especially like important ones like the first Playboy or the first Time magazine or stuff like that. You can now get those graded and sell those. So, yeah, that's what people are doing. In fact, a Kobe Bryant, it was Kobe Bryant's actual Sports Illustrated. So, you know, it has a little tag on the bottom with your address and your name. It actually said Kobe and his address. And it was a Michael Jordan on the cover. And it wasn't signed by Kobe. It was just that, and it was a 4.5. So it was quite fucked up. And I believe it sold for $50,000 or $60,000. That's crazy for a fucking magazine. It doesn't even matter signed in person. None of that matters, Johnny. I'm sure everything you have is real. I'm telling you, I'm sure of it. But nobody cares. Unless the authentication company says it's real, nobody cares. They don't care how many videos you got or you and your mom and dad and Wayne Gretzky. They don't give a shit about any of that. They really don't. They just don't. It's irrelevant. Until it's slabbed and authenticated by them, they don't care. And then as soon as it is, you're good to go. That's it. There's no, is this real? Or no. You don't have to show them video. You just here. Look, it's real. Done. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the problem there, T Streets. But no joke. A lot of magazines, not just Playboy and stuff. Lots of magazines besides comic books are actually becoming pretty valuable. You know, and I have a whole bunch of like, Hot Rod magazine. GM Performance used to make a magazine in the 80s and 90s. They don't make it anymore. Pontiac made a magazine too, and I have like almost all of them in great shape. So I think I'm going to try to send those in, and because I know a lot of Pontiac fans will buy them. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. But thank you for everything. Thank you for the likes, the love. Thank you again for all the donations. You guys made it possible for these new machine to show up. So now I'm going to kick butt. I'm going to go have some lunch. I'm going to pack up these 8 or 9 cards that I got to pack up, get all that going. And then, like I said, I'm going to monitor Joe. He did say that there's 2 things that that are, what do you call it, that are planned for tonight. So it may interrupt what I'm doing, so I'm going to try my best to get as much as I can done. We may be on tonight. If there's nothing crazy going on, I'm not going to be on, so I can push through 100 or so drops or more, okay? That way we can get back to normal. So I love you guys. Much love. Have a fantastic day. Keep the notifications on in case there's a chase. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
This party is officially over.